So, skipping Eddie's idea just because it's a battle royale, we can't
Oh
do
yeah,
that in a
no,
month.
I don't. I completely agree. We are not doing
I
that
mean,
battle.
if you
But
want,
it has
so
funny names.
if
No,
you
it is way too complicated and
has
would
funny
require
names.
networking.
Here, we're gonna end. Yeah, Eddie just said it. Networking. Boom. Done.
but if you
Next.
want, we can talk about it and discuss how we can turn it into something other than a battle royale, if that's what you want. But if not, then let's just move on.
I disagree with changing it, and I agree with skipping it.
Okay, let's just skip it.
All right.
So wait, which one was that? Where are we right now?
That was the
It's
action.
not my vote.
That
That's
was
the one I want.
that was an actually good battle royale game.
Which
Oh,
I named in spite of Pescone and...
you guys are going in alphabetical order. Hold up, I need
Yes.
to change the order of this.
What
and
order
I
do
think
you
it's
have
a very
it?
good name.
I have it in order
Hey,
of
hold
last
on.
modified. Hold up, name.
Oh,
Everyone set it to alphabetical order, and we're going in order.
Jeremy, can you stop that?
So loud.
Jeremy, I want you to crawl into my ear, please.
I thought you were gonna say Ines.
When control of the room needs to be taken,
Please stop that. Thank you.
Says the boss. Boss
Okay.
man said.
Okay, so the next one is Build a Bus by Jeremy and I.
Build a bear.
that is hard.
Yes, Build a Bear
Build a
Workshop.
bear.
Okay.
Build a bear.
Jeremy, do you want to talk about this? Do you want me to talk about this?
We could tag team it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can start.
So pretty much this
yeah.
one started out a little more grandiose, but basically think
Grandiose?
like Death Road to Canada mixed with rap and like a little bit of FTL. So the
Yeah.
idea pretty much is it's some kind of post-apocalyptic situation where we're trying to stray away from zombies with it in particular because zombies overdone, whatever, saturated right now. They can even be something like they can even be like a lateral replacement to zombies, like something like husks or skeleton. Fuck it, they can be skeleton. Actually, now that I think about it, skeletons would be fucking awesome for this. So boom,
But then we
skeleton.
can't sell the game in China.
Only skeletons.
That
any
was
case,
never a concern.
The whole point is that you are getting from point A to point B, and you are building on top of this like battle bus, so to speak,
Oh my
to
god.
get
Yes.
to the.
We're gonna
to
get
to the
sued by
end.
Fortnite so hard.
We already
We're
mentioned
we're not calling it a battle bus. Relax.
We got Husk, we got
basically-
building forts, and we got the battle bus. It's over.
The idea is that you would go ahead and have like three or four little survivors, and kind of like Death Row to Canada style, you can like maybe customize little things about them and before they go on the trip. And as you go, you'll build new rooms on the bus that change 3 different stats: fortitude, speed, and concealment. And these stats will change based on what kind of buildings you have on the bus and how large the bus is and whatnot. And it'll help determine the outcome of certain events that you'll tick on the way. So pretty much you'll have wood, metal, cloth, and on your journey you'll encounter areas you can scavenge for new resources. There are horde events where you'll be stopped by hordes or whatever monster, and you have to have, if your bus is repaired, you might suffer some heavy losses or have people die. Your characters will kind of be talking and moving around inside the bus between event pips, so to speak. And basically, the way the map goes is you'll see the map at all times, basically like where you're going and what kind of pips and how many pips you'll be running into. There could be potentially detours if you see a environment that you don't think your bus can handle. You can detour, which will take longer and potentially have more challenges. But if you have the proper rooms or something for certain types of environments, like mountains or toxic swamps or caves, your bus can push through them. And we're also thinking there could be potentially a weather system which might alter your stats for certain events as well.
So like some people's morale might go down where others might go up.
And, like,
Except morale's
for
not going to
example-
be involved at all. But yes.
Maybe.
They're always happy.
No,
If
one's
if
ever
we can
said.
get the core bus functions done and working, we might add on smaller like polish effects. Like weather is kind of like one of those things where we're gonna focus on doing the harsh or special environments first, but weather might be like a bonus thing if we get those working properly.
So basically,
but yeah.
if you
Yeah, go ahead.
if you look at the visual design document that I made and spent way too much time on,
Drawing.
the core gameplay loop would just be you gather resources. You could see like on the map, and there'd be, so you know there's 20 turns to like get to the end, and every turn you might encounter a place, like kind of Death Road to Canada, like, do I want to stop at this place or at this place? And each place might have different resources that can be collected. You don't actually,
through those?
no, you do not like Death Road to Canada and like go out and collect stuff.
It's literally the bus will stop moving on the road, and there might be like a little thing on the side of the road to indicate where you're stopping, maybe, if we can get there. But mostly it's going to stop, and it's going to be text box that pops up.
And so you collect resources, then you have like a little crafting menu, so you can craft different rooms with your resources, and those will just change the stats. Those 3 stats, fortitude, speed, and concealment, those do everything basically. So obviously fortitude, it's if there's a random chance that a horde happens, your fortitude means that like you can withstand it better and you have a better chance of not taking any damage or like losing rooms. The concealment just means like the percentage that a horde will come, and then the speed is just, I don't know, it random event
like,
something. We'll figure that out.
So basically, all the stats will key into how different random events go through. And basically, you're by the end, like close to the end or middle of the game, your bus is basically just be like a giant, like, moving fortress essentially.
Yeah, and
It's just gonna be a tank.
Each room, it has like certain like, if this room is adjacent to this room, you get +3 in speed, but if it's adjacent to this room, you get -2 in capacity, like in the visual design thing. So you have
you
to
see, like, the little -2 and +3.
So you have to try to kind of build your bus so that you try to get like the most stats possible without taking too many like away.
And to make sure, oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, can people like, so characters? How do they work in this? Like, is it customizable like that, and you have to hope they all survive? Can you?
Or is
pick
it
up
just
people
Oregon
on the way?
Trail?
Kind of like it's a little. I think we're thinking a little closer to Oregon Trail, but they're not just going to be names. But you'll like be able to customize the little pawns for them a little bit too.
Yeah,
And they'll just kind of quip. Like we're thinking maybe minor appearance differences, and like maybe they'll have like a set personality of some sort.
And like, certain personalities like clash with each other then?
nah.
I mean, if they do,
think-
it would only be in like quipped form.
Yeah.
There would be no like
Okay.
gameplay impact.
Yeah, the personality is just quip based.
And I'm assuming you
They
can't
just
like,
whiplash.
Yes.
and I'm
Well, like,
assuming
in-
you can't like pick up anyone on the way.
Nah, we had that in the old idea, but it's just makes everything too complicated, losing and gaining people.
Okay.
And also, and I think we didn't bring this up in like in the initial design, but to ensure that the gameplay loop doesn't get stale too quickly, maybe the progression of what rooms you should unlock should be like random, or based on based on what materials you have too.
Yeah, it could just be
Just
like
so
they're all unlocked, and you just like they're all like, oh, this one's like 20 wood, so I could either save up for this or get this like smaller one.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea too. It's all dependent, because like you don't want it to be like, well, my first choice is always going to be bathroom, bedroom. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be the same rooms. So,
The first thing I'm making is a crafting table.
unless anyone else has any questions, that's pretty much what we're going for with that. So,
Yeah.
like for an example, with like to go into like the special environments a little more, like toxic swamps, your bus might need like a certain like ventilation system item that you might find on an event. And if you have that, you can go to the toxic swamps, and it's like special because it's different types of events and maybe different types of loot or something that you can get while you're in
Like
there.
maybe a shortcut or like a different event.
Right.
Or even like a whole new destination.
Exactly.
Okay.
It might provide new benefits. But if you don't have it, you would have to take a detour.
Oh, you know what would be the sickest thing?
Huh.
Okay, get this. And some of you might know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what was like the coolest part of Pokemon Snap? Was discovering the new routes by doing
Yes.
something completely like out of nowhere.
Just kill a Voltsorb and
Like-
you get a new path.
No other game has ever really done that before, and I think if we had the ability to do it in this, it would be so cool.
I love that.
Okay.
That was
They're
such
just
a...
like secret routes.
Yeah,
I'll mark
like a
that,
secret
so I can
route.
mark that under possible gameplay elements. I'll do it under weather real quick.
That shouldn't be too hard to do.
Oh, what the fuck? Hello?
You deleted my
Anyway.
picture. Oh wait, no, it's just in the
I'm
other
sorry.
thing. No.
Control.
Get wrecked.
Nah, dude, who needs it?
It's fine. It's just on the other page. You didn't delete it.
It's a pretty
I
picture.
pushed
Nah,
it
dude,
down.
who needs the picture? when we
Any
have a
case.
game to develop.
I'll put
Sorry.
in secret passage, secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. I was thinking the same thing.
We all thought it.
Now Brian has to unmute.
It's true.
Just screams into the mic.
That's the second Avatar joke of the day.
Nice.
Yes.
What was the
Alright,
first?
so secret tunnel.
This car's on the wrong side.
Oh.
Secret routes unlocked through certain events.
Crash your bus into a wall.
So, yeah, through certain event choices or within harsh/special environments. I like that. Good. So, yeah, with that added though, that's pretty much what we got for this one.
All right.
Any thoughts, criticisms,
I like it a lot.
ideas?
I really think this has a lot of potential,
Yes.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
I think it's well within scope. So wait, do we want to vote like immediately, or
Nah,
do we
we'll
go
wait
through
till
it?
we
Let's
go them all.
compare it to the
Well,
others.
because then I think we'd all just vote for this one, and then we'd only have two
Yeah.
left.
Yeah.
Over.
Let's just
Yeah.
do
I
this
mean,
one 3
spoiler
times.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Build a bus 2.
Let's
and
build a
Build
bus.
3, this time it's personal.
Build a
Build a
bus
bus
4.
all
It's
3
build a
months.
bear. Can we have a build a bus where you just build a bear and it's just a bear that walks?
Go
And
away.
you're
Can we
just
get
riding that?
licensed by Build-A-Bear to make Build-A-Bus?
Oh, and also, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, just as like a small thing, maybe we can randomize or just have different destination and start locations for.
Oh yeah,
funsies.
definitely.
Anything random.
Like you're
is-
starting in Reno, New York. Do stupid shit like
You
that.
have to get to Honolulu.
Okay.
Aquabus?
Yeah, that is build a bus.
Love it.
Thank you for
I
coming
love
to our
Build a
TED
Bus
Talk.
Workshop.
Thank you. So next is Carmen's Quest, which is Clinky's idea.
Boo!
Boo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could just skip it. It's okay.
Ew,
No.
classical music. Ew.
Okay.
Okay.
Give him the floor.
So, the thing with Carmen's Quest that I'm most worried about is that I'll be totally upfront. I don't think this game is within scope. But if you guys want, I can still try to explain it. Or if
That's
you want,
why we're
we can
here to
just-
talk
Oh,
about it
yeah,
today.
we can talk about it and potentially shave it down to scope.
Hell yeah.
Dumbhead.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm a fucking moron. So
It's true.
basically, the whole plot I had, yeah, I know, we all know this. So, basically, the idea I had for Carmen's Quest is that it would be an RPG battle game for up to 4
Royale?
players. No, because there's only 4. So the basic idea is that you'd have a certain time limit to achieve a certain objective, and that objective can be either like gaining the most experience, finding a specific piece of loot, something along those lines, and whoever does it by the end of the time period essentially wins that round. So this time period would be like, say 5 minutes, and then you have 5 minutes to get the most experience out of every other player. You all start at the same point, and you all basically, it would just be like a normal RPG in the sense of you're exploring, you're discovering new paths, you're trying to uncover secrets about the map, and you're killing enemies and finding stuff along the way to assist you. And so every person would have their own like individual screen, more or less. This can either be like
Online or split screen?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So, for example, if player 1 were to run into an enemy, that wouldn't result in everyone running into an enemy. Player 1 would just have to fight that enemy on their own, while the other 3 can still explore. And on the map for the other players, you'd see that player fighting the enemy, and stuff like that. So, yeah, go ahead.
Question. Is it a different objective per person, or is it the same objective for everyone?
It's the same objective for everyone, because if you do something like gain the most experience, like, how is someone who's gaining the most experience going to compete with someone who's trying to find the most loot, you know?
That's
so
true.
It would prompt it at the beginning, and then you would all know you have to do that exact
So it'd be like, yeah, like
goal.
find the most loot, and then it, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
it drops you.
exactly.
I was just asking because of the idea of like if player 1 runs into a monster and players 2 through 4 don't run into a monster at the same time, do they get a bigger, boost if it was, say, let's get the most experience one?
Well, I mean, if you're gaining experience points, you're going to want to fight monsters and stuff like that. But if player 1 gets to it, player 2, 3, and 4 can't join because that's player 1's battle.
Well, I mean, but like you said, they wouldn't encounter a monster in the same area, or they just wouldn't fight at the same time.
What I mean is that, like, there still might be other monsters in that area, but they just wouldn't fight that same monster.
Okay, that's what I was confused on.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so that's the clarification. Yeah, so the rest of the game kind of speaks for itself with the gameplay elements and everything. It would be more or less like a standard RPG. I kind of had a different idea to go with the sound direction. We're basing it off of, like, classical music and stuff, but that's only because that's my specialty. So I wanted to include something that I know well
Fucking
into
nerd.
the game. Yeah, like a loser. So
Wow,
that's
trying
not
to
something
make
that
yourself
necessarily
essential.
has to be. That's not something that necessarily has to be part of this, but it's something that could, it would
I
be
like-
something to give it a theming.
To help, since this is like a big music idea to help you guys out too, there's this game, Them's Fighting Herds, and
Oh,
when
yeah,
you're on
that
the
game's good.
when you're on the character select screen, there's like a typical character select theme, but as you hover over different characters, they have a certain instrument associated with them that gets worked into the theme.
Yum.
So
Yeah,
maybe
I think you've actually showed me this before.
Yes.
right. So
Uh,
maybe each of the different characters can be based on a different instrument.
I actually like that idea a lot. Yeah, we could do something like that too.
So
That sounds delicious.
here's an
So, yeah,
idea
go
to
ahead.
add to this, because I think it'd be awesome. So you guys know Wizard 101, right?
No.
Oh,
God.
God.
So
Yes.
hear me out. Okay, so everyone can be in their own like one-on-one battle, but what if player 2 then wants to join player 1's battle? Now they can kind of almost work together to like
It's
And-
sort of like summoning someone for your benefit.
I
that?
feel like
I don't
okay,
know
so
I don't
hear
know if
me
it'll
out.
work
I
for the
do-
idea,
So
but
hear me out.
I do like that idea, but I did have an idea where if two players did run into each other and they both pressed, let's say, like the prompt that allows you to go into battle, those two players would be able to fight each other, and it would be a turn-based thing like that.
okay.
So like, they would be able to steal. Let's say the objective is find the most loot or whatever. You'd be able to challenge another player who you think has the most loot, and basically try to steal all of it from them from beating them in battle.
So like a
what
oh, sorry.
what I was thinking, because like I was looking at the part where it says that each character is unique but serves in one of the typical like JRPG roles, right?
Yeah.
Which we all know is like your fighter, your thief, your your big tanky one, and your magic user, etc. Right? Like pick your
I put
RPG
that
from
in-
there.
I put that in as a clause only because, like, if we do the different elements, I wanted to make it so, like, there's no one, because if we just make it, like, the whole point of the game is just to get the most experience. There's obviously going to be a character who's good at experience farming, so
Which would be
everyone's
like
gonna
the
fight.
fighter.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But
like,
now,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
one thing that I was thinking of is like, so obviously out of all of your standard RPG classes, the one that would have the hardest time would be the tank for that.
Yeah,
Because they have the most health, but they probably do the least amount of damage.
yeah.
But that could be the tank character's special ability, is to assist another character in battle and essentially split the spoils.
So everyone has their own special, I do like that a lot. Everyone has their own special thing about them, like their own special ability.
So yeah, basically every class has a way to circumvent their weakness to make sure that the playing field is evened.
Yes,
Yeah.
so like if it comes out to like get the most experience points or obtain the most gold, which let's say is through fighting, the tank who is the slowest fighter can overcome that weakness by fighting with someone else, but have that ability on like a cooldown or something. So he
That-
doesn't just join everyone's fight and like gets 3 fights experience in like one go.
that
Yeah.
that ability could take a while to create.
Implement?
Though. Yeah, just because
Well,
it's
I'd imagine if
contingency
it's
plan-
split screen.
The contingency
Well, no,
plan I
it's-
have with this.
it's just programming it because it's kind of
Yeah.
this. We
Experience,
would have
right.
to make the system work around having it you versus the AI, and then also work if someone can just join the battle midway, and that could be annoying. Oh,
I wasn't actually thinking midway. I was thinking like when the prompt first starts.
so
Well,
what
you
if
know,
they're
like that-
what if they're like
like-
halfway across the map?
I mean, then you would just join their battle, but then you don't get to, like, explore the world yourself because you're also in battle.
I mean, here's the thing. If worst comes to worst, it really wouldn't be terrible if every character is the exact same with just a different skin. Because, to be honest, that would be a lot easier to, program
Implement.
and everything.
And
And-
balancing.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And instead, maybe the differences can just be from like what gear they use.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
like,
even
different
just,
weapons, different
like-
aesthetics.
Like, so what if we do the RuneScape route? I know, I love RuneScape. But, so, like,
Also
everyone starts the same. But, like, as you kill stuff, you get, like, different weapons, and it's like, oh, I got this, like, wand.
So that's actually, yeah, that's exactly the idea I had with, like, finding loot in the dungeon. So, like, hypothetically, you're thrown into this dungeon, and there's one room that you find that no one else has. And this room's loot happens to be a really powerful sword. Now you can use that sword in other battles while everyone else doesn't have that exact sword, and can't get that exact sword because you already have it, unless they kill you.
This is turning into a more fun and more personal battle royale.
Oh, shoot.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
alright, that's it. I'm sorry, this is scraps. We're not doing
This
this
is like an
anymore.
RPG battle royale.
Yep, sorry.
Black
Scraps, it's
survival.
over. We're not doing
The
it anymore.
first thing
We're not
me
doing
and
it
Matt
anymore. It's
did
scrap.
is we highlighted players are dropped.
It's our PUBG battle game.
Player known.
God damn it! Who put it from the
Fighting
battle bot?
floor.
That was me. I put that.
It's
Okay.
the same bus from Build-A-Bus.
Oh, they're just from the Build-A-Bus.
That's the crossover. They dropped from the battle bus.
What if
Why
the
aren't
bus
we
doesn't fly over? It's just so tall that you jump from the top of it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd
so
be
that's really the
double-decker
long
bus.
and short of my idea.
I like this idea.
I-
I feel like if we were to do it, it would be a good July idea, because July is probably our biggest month. So,
It's technically
Yeah.
our longest, and I feel like it's technically our least busy.
yeah, so if we were to do this, I feel like it'd be a good July.
I
Oh my
like,
god.
I do like the theming, having everything kind of be based around Western music, and then having the characters be different instruments.
I want to play
Yeah.
the violin.
Yes.
I want to
The
be
Lord.
the drum.
What we honestly could do is name every single one of the characters after like a famous player of that instrument.
Glockenspiel!
That's I want to be the French horn.
Oh God,
Brian
why?
likes.
Nice.
I want to be the hurdy-gurdy.
I like the I like split screen
Is
turn-based
Gun
game.
an instrument?
Yeah, split screen turn-based is very.
I feel like I've never seen a game that has competitive. That's like a competitive RPG besides like Pokemon. So like I thought this would be a good way to like
Yeah, that's very
That's
solid.
fair.
That's a good point.
I like this idea. It might be a little bit out of scope, but for July, I think
I'm
it's
sure
possible.
I'm sure we could shave it down where to for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot here. Just in the off chance that we can implement all this. I don't expect us to implement all this. if
So
we do end up doing
I'll
this
be
idea.
honest, with a lot of the games that we're designing for this, I feel like as long as we shave them down and give them enough attention, we can easily do a sequel with more of the stuff we wanted to do in the first.
Yeah.
Right, But
And then
it's
we'll have
very true.
funding.
And build it off of the original game's engine.
And
Build.
everything that made it good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Armin's Quest is Carmen Good.
I love
Oh
Harmony
yeah.
Quest.
Also, Carmen is the name of like a famous opera, so that's why it's Carmen's Quest.
Yeah,
Fucking
remember that.
nerd.
I know
Courage
that.
the
Yes,
dog.
I was gonna say Courage with
Courage the
the
Cowardly Dog.
the sea monster that
Yeah,
sings.
let that lake monster.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
All right.
Everyone knows like that song. It's like. It's
It's
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
song. I prefer
That's
the
Carmen.
other overture. Thank you very much.
So the next
There's
up
there's
is
only
Crane
one
Fault.
overture.
Oh, shut up.
Okay, next is a Craneful.
Is that the one you made off that weird idea I had?
Yes.
Sick.
Is this based off the college?
Yeah, no.
I was close.
So this game might be the easiest one to make. But oh, Clanky will be back in 30 seconds, so we'll wait 30 seconds.
I'm going to guess what this game is about
Okay.
Gun.
without reading it.
I see your thing going across the words.
I'm not reading anything. My eyes are off. So, you play as a crane, and you have to pick up a thing, and it's a crane game, but you're an omnipotent crane, and you pick up people, and you put them in a glass cube. There you go.
You got half of it right.
Honestly, the idea of a malevolent crane like abducting people, kind of like
I love the idea of a I love the idea of a God game, but you're just a crane in a crane machine.
And God has to keep inserting quarters in order to keep playing.
No, the crane is God, and you just
Or
pick up stuff and move it around.
wait, is this like an arcade crane or the machine?
Yes.
Oh my god! I thought it was like the arm crane.
No.
Anytime you try to pick up anything, it like breaks and drops it. Rigged. There we go.
Oh my god.
That's
Okay.
a good idea, Pesco, and I
He's
like
back.
it. 10 out of
Okay.
Yeah, it was a great idea. I loved it.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
this is an isometric 3D puzzle game that originally I said it had 2 modes, but I think they're both gonna just be, instead of switching
mode?
between, you can just kind of control both whenever you want. So one, you
We
just
can
kind of
make- Sorry, go ahead.
you control this little guy, and you just have to get to the exit, and you can jump.
Could I
you
make
could
this?
yes.
No, go ahead. I
So-
keep
okay.
talking out of turn because I don't realize when you're done talking. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with
You
social
can-
cues. Just to...
You can jump, you can push blocks, grab blocks, stuff like that. But there's also this crane, and it's like a crane game crane above every level that you can also control, and it can pick up blocks and move them. And yeah,
This has a
you could
lot
look
of potential.
you could look at the design document or
The
the
visual design document really sells the idea.
Could I?
Okay.
I love
Take a
I
look
was
at the picture.
gonna suggest, would it be possible to do like a multiplayer mode where one person's the crane and the other person's the
yeah. You could
I can
definitely
do
do that.
Like Gyro Mite.
So I had an idea while looking at like you describing putting those 2 modes together into one. And I realized that if you look at like, okay, so I use a PS4 controller because I think it's like probably the best for PC games.
Uh-huh.
But if you look at the like split between like half of a PS4, you can use the left side with the D-pad L1 and L2 for all of your like LAD abilities, like jumping, grabbing, and moving blocks. The D-pad to move everything like that. And then you can move the crane with the face buttons and then move it up and down with R1 and R2.
That would be great for speed running. Be cool. And just for general control, it sounds really nice.
But we do have to remember we're selling these games on Steam.
I mean,
and
you
it'd
can
be-
also do it with a piece with a
Oh, yeah.
keyboard.
Yeah,
Keyboard
it's,
and mouse.
Doesn't
Yeah.
Steam offer like a controller thing? that
It,
it'll talk
it
about?
offers automatic controller support for
Yeah.
Xbox and PlayStation,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
but you
no,
can
yeah.
also do it for.
We can definitely easy peasy controller support, easy peasy.
And
But we
what I
can't
do
just
like about
design a
this, like-
game because controller.
Well,
yeah.
I know, but like if you you can WASD Q and E and then do J K L I U and O.
Yeah, I mean yeah.
There you
that's- That's fine.
I have a question. I'm sorry. I have a question.
Yes.
Are the blocks going to operate on like a big like physics system where it might be a bit inaccurate, but they like behave with like real physics, or are they going to be
I
more
mean,
precise and you can
I've-
drop them wherever less physics based, more like cubic grid based.
I feel like cubic grid base would be good, but that's
I thought physics
I
based
agree
would
with
be
that.
better. I think
Physics
physics
based is also a lot of frustrating though.
physics based
Yeah.
will be harder,
It'll
but I
probably-
think
mess up a
like-
level.
If
It'll
the
be
focus
funnier.
on like solving stuff with the crane, then I think like a gridlock would be better. But if
I
it's like
agree.
picking up stuff,
it feels
yeah.
so not fun that way though.
Maybe
I
a
mean,
smaller grid, a grid that's
the focus is more of like, basically it's
It's
kind
because
of
this is a
Well,
crane game.
how puzzly is the game?
I don't know. You guys will be
If it's-
designing them.
But that's the
But-
thing. Is,
no. Here's
If it's a
No.
problem-solving game, it
it's
shouldn't
not
be frustrating. to
It's
pick up
not a
stuff.
gigantic puzzle solve. It basically it's open ended. Like, hey, exits here. Use what you have to get to the exit however you want.
Yeah.
My only thought with the physics thing is that you can like get to the end of the level and like, okay, I'm going to go drop this block in front of the door, and you drop it just barely the wrong way, and it falls off and it gets stuck in the corner, and you
especially
can't
if
pick
it's
it up.
like a 3-armed crane, that'll be weird picking up blocks and
Well, I
then they
mean,
just sort of slip
picking-
out.
Especially
picking-
if the crate is ripped.
Picking them up could be, not physics based, and that's what I plan, because I'm not going to try to make a pick upable thing like that,
That is fair.
in Unity
That is fair.
with shitty
Oh, wait.
Unity
Like,
physics.
Oh wait, so you're thinking of having the crane be rather rigid, but the game be physics-based?
The picking
Like the
up
person.
be rigid, everything else physics-based.
So it like sticks to the crane when you go to pick it up.
Yeah.
And so it always
Pretty much,
stays
yeah.
in that
So
orient.
like, okay, so let's say like for this design document you have here, that there's like a seesaw there, and your thing is to pick up a box and drop it on the other end while your guy's there, and it launches you to the door.
Yes.
So like you wouldn't have any hard time picking up the block, but you would have to drop the item like right over it in
Yeah.
order to launch yourself.
So when
Okay.
so there's that target on the ground, so you always know where the crane is above, and then if the crane hovers over a box, the box will highlight and be like, hey, this is the box you're gonna pick up if you press the pick up button now.
That's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
But
that's a
then
good way.
when you drop it, it'll be physics based. It's not like, hey, it's gonna be like, it'll be dropped at that spot. But if there's like, if that spot is on the corner of another box, it's gonna go spin around.
ooh.
What
Okay.
are those? Oh, what's that game? It has a it's like black and white, but you stack the boxes and it like leans to the left and to the right a little bit. Oh my god.
I feel like I know what
The
you're talking
arcade
about.
one.
I don't know,
Is
dude.
it like the Flash game?
I'm losing my mind.
Okay,
No,
so
you're thinking of
so
something.
now that the
I'm
way the
thinking,
crane
yeah.
is going to work is a little bit more explained, would be 110% on board with.
So yeah,
Okay.
this
Yeah,
one.
I like this. I like
Super
this.
I
easy
like
to
this is
design
just
shit.
simple.
So this
I-
game would be
yeah,
the
no.
easiest game ever to program. It's just
Yeah.
there's gonna needs to be tons of things designed.
And that's if it's like mechanically easy, then I don't think we would have a hard time designing like
Everything else, yeah.
yeah. Like I mean,
feel like a
I think
game. I'm sorry.
50 levels would still be enough for this.
Yeah, like a short puzzle game is probably one of the easiest first games to make.
This game also seems like it would do very, very well on like an app store.
Yes. Well, I guess,
It depends on what control scheme we go for.
yeah, that could be a bit difficult with like an iPad.
You could always add like a virtual D-pad though, and then
Yeah.
a pick-up button.
You
I
can't
mean,
do that.
you could always do that, but is it ever really a good idea?
Could be.
Yeah.
How else do you put mobile controls in a game?
I want to play Fortnite on the iPad.
Yo, tilt controls, let's go.
Don't.
Well, I mean, like honestly, if I were to put this on an app store, I'd have the crane be controlled by the gyroscope.
That's a cool
Yeah,
idea.
That's
I
that's
like
exactly
that.
what I would do too.
That's very cool.
This
I
shit
think there's
ain't
a-
going on the App Store. I'll tell you that much.
Of course not.
Fuck
like,
Apple and
sequel
fuck
will.
how they treat developers.
Yeah.
Google
I
Play,
also agree.
the Google Store maybe, but I don't.
Yeah.
We'll
I
think
can't
about
play
that.
the game then.
well,
Samsung
you know what you have to
Master
do
Race.
is get good.
Listen, once I get out of college, I'm getting rid of my iPhone, but that's a conversation for another time.
Time. So,
I mean, okay,
So,
okay.
is there
We'll
anything
have a-
else about Craneful? I mean, and honestly, it definitely has the most room for us to add unique things to it.
yeah.
So there's
This is-
there's one mechanic I always thought would be really cool with this game when like me and Pascal were talking about it. Is like a portal in the floor that just causes the crane to like come out like of the wall and grab
Yes.
something.
That would
That's
be
so cool.
that would be awesome, and I'd love to make that. Cause like my only problem with this game is like I don't know if I'll be programmerably fulfilled, if you understand, like creatively
We could
fulfilled,
do-
but with programming. But if you
We
do
can do so many cool stuff.
if you
with
do
this.
stuff
Yeah.
like that, then yeah, okay, I'm fine.
Because
like-
honestly,
With
no,
physics,
here's
yeah.
what I'm thinking. Because you'll be able to bang out.
The first
from what
week
I'm
the
getting.
main game will be done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
probably.
I'm saying. Like, you'll probably be able to bang out the main gameplay
Excuse me.
programming-wise,
Sorry.
super easy from what you're saying. So then
Yeah.
that gives us room for you to like do some crazy inventive shit.
We could go crazy with this, honestly.
Like-
There's so much cool stuff. Seesaws were
I'm-
brought up.
Like I'm thinking of a like a level where there's like a bridge that you have to pull out. So you go through the portal with the claw, it comes out the wall, grabs the bridge, and then holds it out for you while you cross over.
That's just cool as hell.
So with this game, if we had like a block that was like very long, would there be a way to rotate it with the crane, or would
Yeah,
it just be the way
Of course.
Yeah, I think the crane can rotate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
of course the crane would rotate.
I like this game a lot.
Yeah, I like this.
We could even do like a. Well, I'll talk more about ideas if we were to pick the game.
Yeah.
So, Craneful, next would be Critter Coliseum. Do you want to skip that, Pasco, or do you want to...
No, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because maybe these wonderful people have ideas to make it in scope.
I read this one.
So yeah, this is a battle royale, but it's new. It's awesome.
It's not Fortnite, we swear.
It's entirely offline. So yes, it's a battle royale, but it's a battle royale against AI opponents.
AKA a battle royale against nobody.
Yeah. Also, it's a
Okay.
Pokemon game.
Mobile.
Stop! Don't highlight battle royale. Anyway, basically, so like you choose your starter, or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. But the big thing is, you go out and catch monsters and shit. But also the AI is also catching monsters, and you can like run into the AI, or the AI will run into you, and then you battle. And if you win, then that AI is now out of the game. If he beats you, you lose and you suck. So like you just have to keep leveling up your monsters, catching more, trying to create the best team, defeating all the other AI until the last one
It's
standing.
kind of like a really simplified, shorter version of Pokemon.
So
What the biggest thing is we need, obviously, and I see this in Risks, you need like stuff to make it different from Pokemon, because right now this just, to me, sounds like a spin-off of a Pokemon game.
Yeah, we would need a unique.
So,
Not to say that that's a bad idea, it's just like, if we could get into trouble.
my
No, not at all.
potential...
Yeah, and
But,
if any Nintendo does not mess with that stuff though, so like
Yeah, so you
My
gotta be
potential-
you gotta tread lightly.
anything that could be interpreted as Pokemon could get us in trouble. Big trouble.
All I said is just you collect monsters. Yes, everyone's gonna have to come up with a good like what's gonna make the turn-based
Monsters.
battle links unique. But that doesn't make like Nintendo's not gonna fight us because they didn't invent the battle catching like the monster system.
I know.
There's tons of games like it. I mean,
Is it an RPG, or is it like an action game?
what?
Like, is it turn-based, like Pokemon?
Yes, it is turn-based.
Maybe we can make
Okay.
it real time instead.
I was just about to suggest that.
See, I don't agree with
That's
that
a
because
lot-
there's nothing
no.
more frustrating in any sort of battle royale than getting third party.
That's also harder AI.
That's fair.
Now my potential circumvention from this is, outside of doing just like typical monsters, I suggested an alternate route to it where you're building a team of like pretty much like almost like Gunpla. I know this is like way out of realm of knowledge, but basically, did anyone ever play Custom Robo on the GameCube?
No,
Oh
but
my
I
God.
know it.
So,
Yeah, you're
continue,
running
but I'm
around
freaking
getting
out.
parts, and you're building a team of like basically miniature mechs, and that's what the battles would be between. And if we don't want to do monster designs, because
Okay.
the thing with, while mechs are a little bit like I guess heavier in the art direction, it's a lot easier to like because you can custom name your mechs that you're building. Like, oh, this one has a frost gun and a fucking shield or something like that.
Yeah, we
So-
could do a thing where you give your monsters specific things, either like berries or like weapons or something that can aid them in the battle.
So there's this anime that I am a big fan of.
Christ.
No,
Relax,
Shut-
we're using it for ideas.
it's literally just like it's a sports anime of a sport that doesn't exist. That's basically just controlling dolls to fight each other with your mind. And it's the
Is that
coolest.
Statch Bell?
No, it's
Damn.
not. And
Huh.
this anime's sick in premise alone because it's just like throw your little man in this like fighting arena and control it with your brain as it beats the hell out of someone else's.
It's like cockfighting, but you control the cock.
Yes. And
There we
it,
did it.
like it worked like the exact way that something like Custom Robo did, except it was more like trying to make a believable sport in a sports world. And I
So that
think
could
if
sort
we
of-
tried to do that, where you just sort of like buff your little fighter, would be sick.
Yeah, and then maybe after games, it could sort of be like a continuous thing where you can earn upgrades or like benefits from winning games or participating in games, and you can use that to buff your monster before going into the next game, and then like maybe doing something along those lines. So it's like a continuous progression. Shitty idea. Yeah.
Just
Poo poo.
it just
But
means
it's
that
a
it's
cool-
like the game becomes easy as you get better at it, or as you play it
Yeah,
more.
the AI would be kind of
So,
hard
yeah,
to.
no. But
Yeah.
in the sense of in the sense of avoiding having to design like a shit zillion like
A
Pokedex,
shit zillion.
Yeah,
It's
it's the best measurement.
what you can do
Yeah.
is basically have like a custom a custom avatar that you're basically doing a turn-based battle royale where we can make it instead of like it would kind of almost be like a turn-based. I mean, not to like kind of be like encroach on like Carbon Quest, but basically like a turn-based battle royale as a fight system. But the fight system will be different because it's not
Well,
maybe so much a standard RPG.
I
but it's
think
basically gear.
the only thing that makes this idea good is balancing catching new monsters with battling the AI. And if we
Which I
take
like-
away the catching the monsters, we shouldn't do the idea at all.
I agree with
which,
that.
Yeah.
Which, that's fair.
And
but
I mean,
look,
it's definitely an out of scope idea, so we shouldn't do it anyway. But
We would just need to come up with
what
a
I was
unique way to
offering is that,
catch
so
monsters.
like that's what I was saying, like in the sense of like custom robo, where it's like rather than necessarily catching a new monster, you would get like a new base robot to add to your team. So you might run into someone who has like one really super well built robot, but you might have like 4 half built robots or something,
And you just need to win.
and you just need to out strategize them.
that's just
Which-
the monsters, but robots instead of monsters.
Yes, but we won't get copyrighted for monsters, for
No,
robots.
what? You guys are crazy if you think that's how copyright works.
No, I'm making a joke, but also the idea of like a mech is so generic and customizable that we should have it will. I feel like it opened more doors.
I just think there's too much art to do anyway.
Yeah,
I
this is
think
a
designing all the creatures alone would take
Yeah.
more than a week.
Well,
this
that's
is a
what I'm-
bit out of scope
Well,
for
see,
sure.
what I'm getting at with the mech thing is we can do like a very simple style for it and have like just different pieces that would show up.
But then, to me, that would take away the, creativity of everyone having different things. Because then, even then, like, how many people do you picture playing this game at once, hypothetically?
I don't know because they're not
It
playing
says
with
face
each
off
other.
against 19 AI opponents. So, about 20 people. If you want to make the game unique enough, you would probably have to have at least, like, half of them, like, to have original things. So that would already be 10 designs you have to do.
And that's a lot of depending on the style of the game, that's a lot of making monsters.
Yeah.
I mean, if you make it simplistic enough, it could work. But to me, this idea thrives on the same idea that Pokemon does, in the sense that there's so much variety in the characters you can choose. And if
This-
you take that away, I feel like you kind of take away the main premise or point of the game. That's just me. That's just my
You're
take on it.
you're making a
agree.
good point.
Yeah.
This seems like something that might be a bit too hard to crunch in scope.
Yeah.
I love this idea. This idea is amazing, but I
it's
don't
great.
think we can do it in a month.
Yeah, we definitely can't.
Yeah,
All right, so.
but I
um,
like the idea. 10 out of 10.
You pitched it well, just not for this insane
Yeah,
3-month.
I was
marathon.
just seeing if anyone would be able to put it in scope because I could not.
Yeah.
No.
Wait till next summer when we're
Unless you
filthy rich.
get rid of the main idea of the game, which
Yeah.
to me defeats the purpose.
Just
of
make it
having
Fortnite.
That's even harder.
Just make it Fort.
Fortnite 4. It's 4.
No, just Fort.
That's it.
No
Okay,
nights.
boys. Are you ready for my next idea?
I'm ready.
No.
Why? Cruel
I'm ready to-
Die, which
I'm
is
ready
the
to
coolest
die.
name ever.
I like it.
That's the
So,
most Japanese bullshit ever, and I love it.
I actually really like the name.
so,
Though it's a work in progress name, we could probably do the
so
final.
this is not. Neither of these things are true anymore. Let me delete them. It's
Oh,
just
this
N.
deletes the whole
I know,
document.
when I was
Game's
talking to
fucking-
Pasco recently,
Game's
we
canceled.
kind of revamped what the idea
Yeah.
was going.
So basically,
This is a cooking
this
simulator.
is so Cruel Die is a game, 1 to 4 players probably. It's a wave-based game where you just kind of just different enemies just kind of coming at you, and you're working together with your other people. And you're just trying to survive until like the time limit is up. And it works in the kind of Hotline Miami type of gameplay where one hit kills you, but also one hit kills the enemy. But maybe there's some enemies where it's like 2 hits if they're like big boy enemies or something.
Absolutely.
But and you could revive your fellow teammates if you get to them. But the whole big thing about this game is before the like round starts, you and your friends, or if it might just be you, chooses the like, let's just say 5 cruelties that have the chance of happening during the game. The worse the cruelty, the more money you'll get if you win the game, basically.
Cruelty.
So-
Die immediately.
So
yeah.
now, by win the game, do you mean win the round, or is
Yeah.
there an actual end to this?
Win the round. It's just like, it's an infinitely replayable game with just like the 20-minute round, let's call it.
That's cool.
So basically, there's this cruelty threshold that starts at 10. If, let's say, you go on like a good combo of killing things without getting hurt, that threshold will go up. If you die or something, it'll go down. Then like every, I don't know, let's say 2 minutes. I don't know. We'll decide that. A d20 is rolled. If the number that was rolled is higher than your cruelty threshold, a random cruelty that you chose at the start of the game will happen. And it might just be for a few seconds or something. Like one of them is like reverse controls, and that would give you a lot of money just because that would suck.
It'd be really hard.
Very
Yeah.
difficult.
There's like reduce everyone's speed. That'll be low money because that's baby stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. The gameplay itself, I don't know if you guys ever seen the game Akane.
No.
Let me look it up. I'm the only person who played it in the world.
Ever. You're the one player. Top 5
basically
Akane
the idea
players.
is, everyone who's playing would select a bunch of different like curses essentially to be loaded up,
Oh, this is
and then depending on how good you're doing, when that d20 rolls, if that d20 rolls higher than whatever that threshold is, one of those curses will activate, or multiple.
so yeah, skip to like 6 minutes and 15 seconds for the actual gameplay.
Is it
This is
on?
cool
Are you looking
game.
at the Steam video or something,
It's in
or
the group
no?
chat.
I just
It's
put in the group chat.
Go to 6:15.
6:15.
I like the art so far.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
art's
this
good,
looks
but
nice.
I don't know if we'll be able to do this art. But
It's
I
very
don't
cool
think
looking
so.
yeah,
So were you in like a tiny arena and you just have to last as long as possible? I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
Without the
Okay,
four
how
other
much is
friends.
this game?
It's like $2, $3, $4, $5.
$5.
This is off the
I-
50.
it's literally like
Which-
$3. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it on the Switch?
I don't know. Look it up.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I have it
Alright,
on
if
Steam.
you'll excuse
it's,
me.
it's very fun. Very good game.
Yo.
And you also have a shotgun in this game, at least. You have a katana and a shotgun. Or actually, you start with a pistol, but you can upgrade to like, I have a shotgun. Anyway, that's the game. Go buy a comic.
Yeah.
This is
I
just an
might.
advertisement for Akane.
This wasn't really an idea to pitch a game. This is just to advertise that game.
Pesco
No, I
subscriber
mean,
help.
but we have a lot of stuff going for because you have a locally stored account which you'll stock
yeah.
up money on, which you can use to buy like cosmetics and other things.
Yeah, so the money you get from winning the rounds, right now it's just you use it to buy cosmetics for your character, and the game stores local accounts. So if like you put your name as Bob,
Can confirm is $5 on the Switch.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, that's perfect.
it's good.
So
Let's
yeah.
buy some Akane.
Okay.
Well, that's a good game.
So yeah, it's a risk versus reward basically. But if
I feel
you're
like
if
oh,
you're good
sorry.
at the game,
So
then
basically, it's a wave survivor, like battle thing, Hotline Miami style, where you and the players control how hard, how easy it could, for money, like more, basically putting up for more money, up the ante essentially. And things could, and like we could have different arenas that you fight in, like stuff like that, and like so, you know what I mean?
I feel like there's a lot we can do with this in the time
It's
frame.
very open ended, yeah. Like the core gameplay loop will be really easy to make, which gives us a lot of room for.
and we
doing
could do like
interesting
different
stuff.
classes, like one person's sword based, one person's gun based, or
Yeah.
something.
Gun.
Gun,
And they
just
have-
a gun
and they have
with
all-
legs.
A gunfight.
And they have different like different upgrades or something as they fight. Who knows?
I like the idea of like, since it's like die based, maybe even like taking inspiration into the art style and stuff like that of like D&D and maybe making classes based off that. I know it's an overdone trope, but as a
That
possibility.
could be cool though. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's actually like just pretending to be a tabletop game.
Maybe on different modes, instead of a D20, it could change to like a D10 or 8 or 6 or 4 or whatever, and it makes the odds of you getting a cruelty higher if you want to play on a harder mode.
Coin flip.
We could do that kind of like D&D like system, but we could just slap a different coat of paint on it, make it modern, make it futuristic, make it actually look like you're playing on
Or
a tabletop.
we could
And then
even
we
yeah
just
we
make
could
it
even we could even do.
I really like the idea of making it look like you're playing
Yeah,
a tabletop.
that's what I was
That
about to
idea-
say.
we can
So-
make, we can make
so
it
the
like
models-
a grid-based map.
I don't want
Oh,
grid base, no grid base, but
Well, no.
Well,
I
it just
didn't-
looks
hold on.
good.
I
okay,
didn't. Yeah, like I'm saying, like you know how like a D&D dungeon map.
yeah.
It looks like on a grid. That's what I was getting at. Not
So
you're
yeah,
moving
I
it.
think the models could be,
Hexagons.
to make it easy. The models that Christian will model will be like little like figurines. So we don't even have to
That's so
animate
cool.
moving. We just animate
That's so-
like attacking and getting hit. and
Yeah,
stuff.
it can like so literally your guy that kind of like slides around and you attack. So it does like a little swing and
I love that. This is so cool. I love that art style.
And we
Yeah.
could give them spider legs.
Yes, and well, they can combine
No,
and turn
no.
into one massive piece.
What if they like do that like rocking back and forth kind of like motion?
Oh yeah, like Hitman Go.
Yeah.
yeah. So like they tilt back and forth as they move around, like toop, 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 toop.
Yeah,
I
but then
love
we couldn't do melee with that. That'd have to only be like magic attacks. I
No,
feel.
no, you could do melee because
Can
when
you?
they stop at a point, you just do a little sword swing in front of them.
We
Yeah,
can
that's
animate
so cool.
certain
Oh
parts.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
and
a
when
little
a
flash thing,
character-
I guess. Yeah.
And then when a
Yeah.
character dies, the pawn can just lie on its side. on
Yeah,
moving.
exactly. The pawn could just
Oh
tilt
my
over when it gets hit, and you could revive it by running.
Yeah,
over.
it could look like you playing an RPG. That's freaking
See,
cool.
This
after
might be
I
my favorite ideas.
after I
Do we
visited
have like the models for that though? Like, would we be able to do that in a month?
Christian,
That seems like a lot.
Christian, can you?
Game pieces are very simple models, especially since we wouldn't have to animate them that much.
Yeah,
So
and
now
we
that-
can do
once
low
I-
poly.
And
Yes.
once Maya actually finally works for me, I'd be more than willing to hop on board and help Christian with the
Yeah,
model.
Oh
once
my
I
it
God.
would be
learn
a very
how to-
easy
once I learn
tutorial for me and
how
Clint
to
to
do
work
Maya,
on stuff.
I'll absolutely tag in and help
And-
make some stuff.
And did you
Oh my
not
God.
see the self-portrait of Daniel I made?
Yeah.
Oh my god, the idea of making it look like a fucking N64 PS1 game, so
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
The
This,
cel-
so we have a lot of potential with it. Again, like Craneful, this is one where the core gameplay loop should be really easy to get in. So the rest,
Yeah.
we'll just have time to like.
the only thing that worries me is if it's going to be like, for more or less sake, a static figure. I feel like this doesn't sound like it'd be too fast paced.
No, it can be fast paced.
We can speed up the movement, I guess, in a way. I guess in a sense, the pace could be all about like.
The only problem is
speed,
we just have to make sure the
animation.
cosmetic system works well. That's
Yeah.
all.
Well, because like I'm looking at the Kane and how obviously Pascone said it would be very similar, but in that game, like there's at least a full animation for the swing. There's the dashes.
Yeah. There will be
Yeah.
some animations we will have to do, like no doubt, in order to make the game like actually playable. But in this, it would probably be very simple animations that won't be difficult to make.
Yeah, like the pieces will tick-tock around the map, and then they'll have like a sword swing and happen in front of them.
Yeah.
But like they'll actually move for the sword swing.
They don't
feel
have
like-
to.
But,
I feel like
that's the
feel
thing.
You know what? If
There'll
you
be
really
like a
want,
sword swing animation in front of them.
yeah, if you really want it, it could just be a swing, and the piece can like wobble a bit while they do it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me You guys know like Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Yes.
So you know how
Exactly
their
like that.
attacks kind of like appear in front of them? They
Yeah.
don't act like your character doesn't actually swing their sword. It just kind of puts like a sword swing in front of
Yeah,
them.
exactly. That's what I was.
Yeah, let me
thinking.
get a video.
So like
I
Zelda
wouldn't
Link
know.
to the
I've
Past.
never seen gameplay of that game.
I don't buy it if you haven't. I'm advertising a game now. It's great.
No, I don't play rhythm.
I
games.
love this game.
Guys, you play Hollow Knight. Do it.
Yes, that I agree with.
We're just all advertising our favorite games now.
Do it.
Hey,
Fortnite,
Tiny
guys, play
Automata,
Fortnite,
it's an
bro.
indie
XD.
You know that game is on my list. I need to get it.
Fortnite?
Fortnite.
No.
You walked right into that.
I thought you were doing it on purpose, not gonna lie.
No, it's not near.
Well,
Anyway.
I thought you were
on to the
doing a
next
funny.
idea.
Yeah. Anyway, the idea is here. We don't have to go with the other thing. Like the aesthetic, we can play around with
Maybe
later.
that
Yeah,
could
we
be
can do a
like
lot
a
with
next
the
month thing when we have all the time.
I love See, if this is the aesthetic we're going for, I'm 110% down.
I definitely think that should be the aesthetic for sure.
My brain is probably just not processing it properly.
It might look better once we start putting things in motion.
Yeah,
Where
we'll
it
see.
might, it's
I
gonna.
have no doubts.
I think it's gonna
Yeah,
fall into place once we start putting it in motion.
I think the art style is definitely something that would give this game like an edge.
Yeah. And if
Yeah.
we
Well,
realize
yeah,
that,
because it's all polygons.
yeah,
So that's Cruel Die then. So let's move on to Dire Dungeon.
My next game.
die and die.
I like how like 70% of these are just Pascone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pasco's actually in a Discord call with himself and no one else.
He's trying to convince himself which games he should make.
So fun fact: Dire Dungeon used to have the name Cruel Die, but then I was like, wait, Cruel Die is too cool of a name to give it to this game. Let me think of another game with the name Cruel Die to make, and that's where Cruel Die
Does
was
this game
born.
suck or something?
This is
What?
an
No.
isometric wave-based roguelike.
I mean, this is
Where have I heard about this?
What?
Now, hold up.
Thank you.
Now,
You're
I
welcome.
talked to Pascal about it, and this one's more like a tower defense.
Oh yeah, this is a tower defense game. This is Dungeon Defenders if you've ever played it, but it's isometric.
Nice.
That's it.
And it's got the DD.
Oh no, that's not it. So basically, it's a tower defense game where like your character, you can also like go and attack things. So it's not just your towers. But at the beginning of the game, you can choose what towers like you'll get. So, and like each tower like costs a different amount like of dead person coin. When you kill things, you get dead person coin or whatever.
You get bones.
Yeah.
Can it be called exactly that?
We can. Yes, we can call it that.
Dire coins.
So basically, you just choose like, okay, I want like these 3 towers with my character. And you could also choose like, so there's no classes. You can choose like, oh, I want the melee attack, or I want the bow and arrow attack. And then I want these 3 towers, and then and it's also up to 4 people. So yeah, it's up to 4 people, and they also choose like their stuff, but they can't choose the same ones you chose. And yeah, it's just tower, like wave-based tower defense game, with a bunch of different levels, so you can create, or no, you can just play through levels, maybe different difficulties, different enemies, stuff like
This
that.
is just sort of a standard tower defense game, I guess.
So it's a tower defense game where you choose what kind of towers your particular character will be building, and you also choose how that character is going to attack the enemies.
So essentially, like you have your characters and you have your towers, and that's how you handle each wave.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah,
Would it
rather
be-
than having class. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, would it be like also kind of building off of that? Would your character be the one placing all of the towers? Like, would you
Yes.
walk around as the character and then place
Yeah.
them down? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're defending like a main building or something.
Go buy Dungeon Defenders.
This is goddamn.
Oh my
we keep
God.
advertising for games.
So this is another idea that's basically like, hey, we have a nice simple setup, and then build on top of it once we have the basic
Yeah.
stuff down.
Yeah.
Balancing everything might be too difficult, and like getting a bunch of different levels and a bunch of different enemies.
And there are quite a few gameplay elements. So I'm not sure in a month how much we might be able to
Well, they're
build
all-
on top of
They're
it.
all simple ones though, like that.
That is
are
fair.
Basic, like they're not like all very in depth. Like it's really just describing what happens when you die. What waves.
Yeah. That is fair. That is fair.
But yeah, it might
Uh.
be slightly. I think it's in scope, but to make it like real good, it might be out of scope.
With enough crunch time, anything's possible.
See,
Also,
I
Christian.
feel like
Bad touch.
so. I'm not going to lie. This is the type of game where if we were to like make it good, we could give it a sequel and just call it Dire Dungeon,
Yes.
and then make a third one that's just D3 Dungeon,
If we go with the title, yeah.
Yes.
Dire dungeon.
and then D3 Dungeon, or Dire Dungeon, and then we just keep going with that.
Oh my god.
We
This
become
is, so
next Scott,
would it be like
release the same
pixel
game.
based, or would it be like 2D, like top view?
I pictured, Swing,
I
No.
do know Swing.
so like that. So 3D isometric. We could do
Cubes.
everything boxy, boxy, or to make things easier, or we could not.
Okay. I know with like puzzle games, isometric views kind of work pretty well, but for me, but this might just be because I am big stupid, but like, for me, when I'm trying to play an action game or a game that requires at least somewhat quick reflexes, playing on an isometric plane kind of fucks me up because I never know if when I'm moving up, if I'm going to be moving up left or up right.
Uh-huh.
I had that problem with Super Mario RPG, and that's not like that's not a fault of the game. That's a fault of me just being stupid. But like,
It is a fair point, though.
And
it is
fair
something
point,
that like for a
because
game
that game
like Craneful I can't weigh in because I never really played past the first like 5 minutes because I couldn't get used to the controls. But with a game like Craneful, where you can like take your time and like figure out how the stuff moves and everything, an isometric view to me works really well. But to me, I think an isometric view for a game where it's trying to be more action-based would kind of be a hindrance to the player.
yeah.
If you
It
build
just
up
sounds like you're not a real gamer playing.
No, you're 100% right. I play Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley.
if you
Hey,
ramp
Those
up
are my
respectable.
two favorite games.
Respectable.
should be fine.
And wholesome.
Like-
Anyway,
As long
What'd you
as
say,
not
Jeremy? I'm sorry.
you're not blasting them out of the gate with the hardest enemies, they should have time to act.
or we could just
Maybe
play
a-
around with the camera.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
give a different camera view, a top-down, or maybe even like a
First person, Lamau.
a first-person split screen or first-person like
Say
online
first
connection
person
kind of thing.
now.
Yes.
I agree that, like, obviously, like, you wouldn't start off with the hardest enemy, so you have time to
Yeah.
get used to it. But
It
for
should be
me,
second.
it's more intuitive when you're trying to do something quickly that up moves you up and not up right.
It should be second person, and
what
all
you
you
can-
see is your
what
character.
you can also do to remedy that is have make sure there's a little arrow under your character's feet that points what direction they're gonna move in, type of thing.
So
you
wait,
always have an idea of where you're going.
in Super Mario RPG, up moved you up, right?
Yeah, because it's all on an isometric grid.
That
Yeah.
game
Oh,
is
well,
flawed.
well, that's because it's grid-based. This won't be grid-based.
Yeah.
Up will move you up.
Oh! I assumed because it was a tower defense it
Oh,
would be
no,
grid-based.
no.
Okay, that makes a lot lot sense.
Oh, yeah, I
Pascone
wouldn't
does
do
not
something
like
that.
grid-based games.
Fuck grid-based.
All right.
Let's just make Super Mario RPG.
But
Pretty
but
fond of.
Pascone, the best game ever is grid-based.
Is that a game?
Checkerboard Chase from Kirby 64.
Clearly,
Is that
So,
It's
yeah,
the best game ever made.
it's a
The next
breaking
one
grid.
is you, Pascone again.
the next
Pascal
the
meeting.
next two, and then it's Jeremy, then it's Clanky. Okay, yeah. So yeah, if we're done with Dire Dungeon,
Yeah,
let's move
Dire
on to
Dungeon.
Fishing Guild, baby.
I like
See.
Fishing Guild.
I just like fishing in video games,
That's
Same.
fun.
More
Which is-
fun than
Fishing
real
is fun.
fishing.
which is why I made this game idea.
Matt'll tell you all about it.
Oh my god.
So, you and up to 3 friends will partake in a relaxing fishing adventure across a procedurally generated world. So basically, it's just you're trying to make the most money from selling the fish you catch.
Together.
No, you're competing. It's a battle royale.
Oh, shit.
So
Battle Royale.
If I hear that word one more time.
if you look at the visual design document, this is kind of what I'm thinking for the procedural generation. So that
Thanks, Dad.
No,
I'm
look,
sorry.
thank you.
I'm not at my computer. I can't wait to come back and see. Oh,
okay,
it's so big.
Anyway.
so if you scroll down, you'll see what he's talking
So
about.
basically, those squares will be handmade like little islands, and then they're just the procedural generation is what square will be spawned, where will it be spawned, and what bridge is connecting it with other stuff.
Like Forager?
I don't know. I never played it.
Yeah, this is giving off like huge Forager vibes.
Forager has the exact map layout.
Okay.
Well,
We can
game
innovate, we
scraps,
can
next
innovate.
game.
So
Change
yeah,
things up.
I mean we don't have to.
Oh, I got an idea.
Forager's a good game, so like why not just
That's
do
Let's
it?
fair.
make it a battle royale.
Yeah, there we go. We'll just have it twisted tower.
Forager's only single player, and it it doesn't focus on fishing. It's nothing like this game, in fact.
Yeah,
In fact,
it's the only thing that's similar about it is the world.
In
Yeah.
fact,
But,
this is just RuneScape with
It
Forager's
is.
map.
I inspired by RuneScape. In fact, play RuneScape.
All right.
Fortnite
So
different
so-
I say we.
And what's real cool is we can
Yeah,
have
this game-
different like biomes, so to speak. Like you
Yeah.
might be in like an ice area
And,
that
like,
changes up kind of
Where you
fish.
get different fish.
Yeah,
like
so
sharks.
like different fish, and then those yellow things on the bridges are like gates that like either you need like spend like 500 coins to get through this gate, or like give the guy that's guarding the gate this certain fish to like get through. But now it's only open for you. It's not open for the other people, so they
They have to try to catch that fish.
Yeah.
Does everyone start on the same grid or no?
Yes. For
Okay.
now.
So
Okay.
I'm dropping Tilted Towers.
Is it just like you have to get the best fish by the end of the game, or is it like whoever gets the most fish?
I think the most profit is
It'll be
my
based
idea
on-
right now. Yeah.
So like if I have like a shit ton of fish that are worth 1 cent, and like some dude just caught one fish but it's worth like $17, that person would win.
Yeah.
Okay.
and I assume you'll be able to use things to boost your odds to find better
Yeah,
fish.
so
Well, yeah,
like-
because you're gonna be buying new rods, new bait, stuff
So-
like that.
So my idea is let's make Cruel Die, Dire Dungeon, Fishing Guild, and just make it all the same engine.
And make it just Fortnite.
I mean, they're all using the Unity engine no matter what. So they,
No, but
every
yeah,
single game will be on the
Just make it 3 skins of the same game. Because they're all
Damn.
4-player multiplayer.
Damn, I
Make
thought we would
asset
be making
flips.
them in Little Big
we can
Planet.
add a Carmen's Quest to that too.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we could just make our games in Roblox, bro.
Well,
Let's make our games in Scratch. Let's do it.
So
Yo,
here's the thing.
I personally
We make a battle
really-
royale where all our compete.
I
I
think
personally
Fishing
think
Guild.
Fishing Guild is fucking great. I'm like,
Yeah, no. I remember
really-
going through these GDDs like a while ago. Not a while ago. Yeah, that was yesterday. And I saw Fishing Guild.
Big
I saw
mood.
Fishing Guild, and like this was the one idea that like I just kept like reading all the way through because I really liked this idea.
and honestly, I didn't realize there was this visual design documents on it because I only read it when the art direction thing was there. But after looking at the visual design document, I'm like, yes, I fucking because I love the idea. Like you branch off, and now suddenly you're like a desert, like an oasis, and it's
Yeah.
like. And
It's
you
my
can even have like a sewer zone. Like,
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Who is doing that?
I'm sorry.
I'm
That was me.
Legos.
Dan, what happened?
I like Fortnite.
He became Lego.
And he-
Lego Battle Royale.
What
He
did that
dropped
sound
99.
like?
Lego Fortnite.
What
So
does
wait,
that sound like?
so
I thought it
yeah,
was slowly
I think
breaking.
Fishing Guild would be great because, and then like it'd be like it's competitive in quotes, but really you're just chilling with your friends catching fish. It's like, oh hey, I won.
it's like the fishing contest in Animal Crossing. It's a
Exactly.
contest, but it's not really a contest.
So I will
Right.
say that I love this idea. I think it could be a great July idea because we would have to make a lot of fish and maybe like a lot. Several
Well, here's the
different
thing:
biomes.
we
stuff
can
like
use
that.
real fish.
Take a
Real
shot
fish
every
aren't.
time Christian says "fun July idea."
It's a
Yeah.
July idea.
Take a
It's
shot
so
every
real.
time a battle royale
Here's
is
the thing:
mentioned.
we already have a lot of our work cut out for us because we could use real fish and just add onto it with fake fish.
Brian has spoken.
The real
It's
fish,
like-
the real catch are the friends we make along the way.
Boo!
Are, we,
Oh.
are you
yeah,
saying
like-
we're all
Because
fish?
there's no copyright on real fish.
That's
Are
not
you
true.
sure?
I own them all.
Well,
Excuse me.
We're gonna take clip art of
I
real
think-
fish.
I'd like to copyright this salmon.
I think fake fish would be fun, and I think fish are easy to make.
I
And
think
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
fair.
We
Fish
could
is easy to make
honestly
as
do a
cars.
mix. We could do like a
Yeah, we
mix
could
of
do a
real
mix.
fish and fake fish. So like you start off catching real fish, and then all of a sudden you caught the blabbledoodle.
And I
Can we have a
think
fish with human eyes?
You,
I
you
think-
caught Scuba Steve. He's
I-
been down there for years. His family misses him.
And
I
we can
helped
put them like
You
have, like,
can sell him for $13.
I think Dan's art style would be great for the fish.
Oh yes.
yeah.
Yes, I was thinking the same.
In
Wow,
that case,
Dan.
yeah,
and
this
you
is-
can, there's also like different trash objects and maybe even like relics you can fish up by accident.
got-
That could be
you
Easter
can-
eggs.
You caught
Oh, I like the idea that you catch one boot and it's worth like the smallest amount, but then you can catch a second boot and now it's worth something.
now that you have both of them.
Yes.
we
They
need to
turn
have
Yeah,
out
a-
they
to
don't
be
even.
Gucci.
Going off that idea, they don't even have to be all fish. Like you could catch boots and make money
Yeah.
off of them. Or I really like the idea that Eddie gave of like catching a scuba diver and them
Yeah.
being worth like a lot of money.
Like,
Like,
it was
you
a
can
missing
compete
A
person.
person.
missing
This.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you get the missing persons award.
But you can only sell them at like a certain like vendor that has like the missing person flyer up.
Yes,
exactly.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Whoa.
Can you fish up
Ooh,
like a
So you,
note?
like if you
It was
get
like,
him, you have to
oh.
like run back to that exact store to sell him.
At,
off.
at the end of the game, you fish up Cthulhu and you lose.
There we go.
No, you
Can we
win.
over?
Can
You're
we
fi-
fish
no.
up
If you look at Cthulhu, you go insane.
Yeah,
And-
Well, yeah, but what is everyone just going to not look at him?
you befriend Cthulhu.
Yeah, you befriend him.
No, you sell him at the
Anyway,
vendor.
okay,
Yes.
20
wait.
bucks.
Hey,
we're off
Anyway.
topic now. Okay,
Can
but
we
that's
fish
the
up a
idea.
submarine when you win the game? And
Hold
get
up, hold
in.
up. So,
No,
I just have
yes.
one thing to add on to this. I think we're all sold.
Yeah.
This gets my vote.
Then
This
give
gets
me your money.
No.
And actually, you
So-
all do owe me $10, except for Jeremy.
that is.
Hey, I
cool.
already paid.
Yeah.
So
Pascal?
everyone get them $10.
Die. Yeah.
Okay.
Cruel die.
Cool die.
Okay.
I drove you home to
I
that.
like the idea that if we like put the fishing mini games based on the fishing hooks, like you get like the mini, like you get like the really strong fishing hook, like fishing rod that can't be broken, and you get like a test your might game like from Mortal Kombat,
Yes.
but it just says test your bite.
Oh my god.
Test your bite.
I
There goes
love
that
it. It's
idea.
beautiful.
Pascal, are you gonna even brief Infinitus? Because it's basically like
Is
we've
this
covered it.
Thanos game?
No.
Oh.
Infinitus is out of scope.
Okay.
Let's just skip it for time purposes.
Damn.
Okay.
And it's
you
like
sure?
every other game we've talked about.
It's
a-
a battle royale.
It's a
It's
1 to
not
2
correct.
player. No, they work together.
It's a 1
It's
to
a
4
2 to 4
player competitive.
battle royale.
This is just Build-A-Bus too.
Competitive checkers game where you sniff each other's toes.
Okay, Jeremy. Oh, Chords of
All right.
Magic. You changed the name.
So yes, the cores of magic. So admittedly, out of the gate, this idea
Did
is
you
out
have
of
1 or
scope,
2
but
slices?
It can be shaved
Two.
down. So the essential idea of this is supposed to be like kind of like a sandbox game where I don't know if anyone's ever played this old Flash game called Alchemy. But basically, when you threw two things together, you got new ones, and you tried to keep expanding
Yes.
your web of things.
Is that like the
Oh.
same? Is that like the game where like if you mix like pressure and coal, you got like a diamond,
Yes, exactly.
And then,
So
if
I
you put-
wanted to make something like that.
and if you
Where-
put like diamond with needle, you got like record player.
Yes, exactly. One of those types of deals. So what I wanted to do with this one is a system like that where you have two portions. You have a magic workshop and you have an arena. So the magic workshop is where you combine all of your elements together to get the new elements and whatnot. And you then also combine those elements with some basic spells to create your own spells. And then in the arena portion, for fun, you pick two of the spells you've created and then you use them against enemies. It'll be it'll always be like hitting like moving dummies. It's not supposed to be like, oh, you could die. It's basically like racking up points in a shooting gallery
But like with
So-
spells that you create.
with spells that you create, just to see how they affect different things in action.
It's like a game that doesn't really have, I guess, like a particular goal. More so, just the fun of experimenting, I guess.
Right, exactly. The fun of experimenting is supposed to be what the whole big deal is. And in the arena portion, though, for doing the arena portion, you'll win things like little things to deck out your character with, and maybe even new elements and spells that you can't make from the base.
Me like.
So I was working on a big table of like what all the different things would do, which is why I started to think it would kind of get out of scale. But once we get it working with some basic stuff, we can just add on new elements until we're run out of time. Basically, is what I was thinking.
Yes.
Which is going to be like the third week.
So,
I
wanted to do the voxel like swing style with it to like the spells really have a lot of impact to like how they are working. But we can change that up if it proves to be too taxing wise.
I like the idea that the character is just a cube with a like pointy
wand.
thing on top.
Yeah.
It's like a wand that just points forward.
Yes, that exactly would be that.
Alakazam, you are
And
now
as
a
you see my
can.
vision, and so like when you're in the magical workshop area, you have you're like a PDA because I want to kind of be futuristic style a little bit too.
Yeah,
And you have your PDA like with holograms of things you're mixing together.
that's
And then-
cool.
You also in the workshop there would be a little testing box where you could use a spell and see what it would look like on a test dummy.
I like it, but I have one question.
Yes.
What if it was a battle royale?
I swear to God.
And we put it on the Whoah.
And you build up.
So, I do have a quick question about this.
Yes.
But I lost my train of thought, so you're gonna have to come back to me.
You're welcome.
This is-
No,
Does
no
it
problem,
involve
Manny.
the
So
Whoah?
what is everyone else thinking?
I
Like
think
seriously.
it
Oh,
might.
I remember my question.
Yeah, you did go, Glenn.
Sorry. I just want to give it out before I forget it. So with the arena mode thing, are there going to be like specific like is it going to be kind of like a level based thing where you go to different arenas, or is it just all right now you go to the arena and based on your spells this is the enemies we're giving
Well,
you?
it's just a shooting gallery.
No, it's basically just a glorified shooting gallery.
Oh,
Like,
okay, I understand now.
The
Sorry.
3 different types of rewards I was thinking is you can unlock like new arena skins that might like be slightly different. Like, oh, now this arena has platforms or walls, and then like you unlock like new little like hats and.
I
like,
love the hats.
for your cube guy, your cube wizard man.
This
And
is
then
an adorable idea.
you might unlock some like elements that you couldn't get through combining stuff. Like you get the rainbow element. You know, like just dumb stuff that you could add on that you.
Chromatic orb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fact that this game doesn't have a concrete goal might actually make it more in scope than it
But-
could have initially been.
My only
The elements like making all of the elements as abilities is gonna take a lot, especially if
fair.
there's a ton to be created.
I could definitely take the brunt of it because this is my idea.
But
I
it's
would- I would-
programming.
Oh,
We will have to make a lot of effects and then like a cover for a lot of case scenarios probably.
The good thing is though, from what I noticed already from just designing them, is that a lot of them will work in similar ways, but just have different like damage values or something. For example, like sand and magma will probably have like the same like physics, so to speak, but will just do different things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like water and air could literally be the same thing with just different like statuses. Because like for example, water and air could be like the same kind of block, but water just makes you wet, where air just pushes you. You know what I mean? So a lot of the different like abilities or elements would be like the same kind of blocks or physics, but they would just have different statuses applied when you get hit by them, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you've convinced me a bit.
This
So
seems
that-
like something that could be really cool to make if we're like feeling confident and like we could do this.
So yeah, for example,
so yeah, this would be a real good July idea.
Yeah, it's a July idea. You know what, guys? I think this is a cool December
Actually-
idea.
Actually,
said-
depending on how difficult this might be, this might be good for August since we'll be the most stretched for time there.
We're gonna kill ourselves. We're gonna
I feel
die.
like this is kind of one of those games that we're not going to realize how much it's going to take unless we decide
yeah,
like
no,
how many
this-
elements. it's
Yeah.
This is gonna
no,
take
here's the thing.
too long for August.
Scope
Yeah.
creep is scary.
So
What
this
I-
is
what I'm-
definitely, without beating a dead horse, like actually this seems like a good July idea.
So what I'm getting
Yes.
at is, for example, also like stone and rock could literally be ice and rock could be the same two things programming wise, but ice freezes you, rock just hits you.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
we'll have a set
solid, solid and liquid.
yeah, stuff that will happen, and then like depending on what it is, it just does different effects and like is a different color or something.
And what I can do is, since this is my pioneering idea, what I can do is I can make a self-contained amount of elements that is a small scope that we can definitely finish within a certain time frame.
But I
and make
feel
sure it
like
works.
this
You know
game
what that means.
will be good, or it might only be good if there's like just a ton of stuff that people can dive into and like
I
try to
think-
make.
Because for a
Yeah,
game with
I
no
think
goal,
this
it's gonna
game
need a
kind of
lot.
I think this game kind of falls in the same thing of critter thing, in the sense of like if there's a lot of elements, it'll make it more interesting and entice the player to fuck around with the like things more. Whereas
Yeah.
there's a few things that we have to do because we're restraining it because of time. Once the player does all like hypothetically 4 elements together and everything, like they're gonna lose
True.
interest quickly.
So-
That's my only concern with the game. But like other than that, I think this game is like really solid. I do.
Oh,
I
like
yeah,
it.
have
if we-
the ideas for everything, and I can show you guys what I find if you want to later
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
for sure.
Yes.
What I can definitely help think of ways to do programming shortcuts, because even though I don't know how to actually think of ways to help, like from an outside perspective, how to make them similar.
Just make them all if then.
Yeah, exactly. Just 5,000 if-then statements.
And believe me, if everyone else is concerned, I can definitely come up with the brunt of what the web is going to look like because I already had it in mind when I was making it.
And I have I know the flow he's going with because I too played that game a lot.
Yes.
This is an idea where I feel like if we don't do it this summer, we could definitely come back to it and like
Oh,
really
absolutely.
wind and fire makes energy, wind and water makes ice. And you 2 ice with the push spell, you get a big icicle. But just ice and water is an icicle that splashes or something. You know, dumb stuff like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like.
And
I'm not gonna get into it.
And it has a futuristic aesthetic to it as well, because you're like scientists messing around with stuff, not.
Wizard.
I'm also thinking. Oh, sorry.
You can go.
No, you're good. Go ahead, Christian.
I'm also thinking, if we don't do it this summer, what if we were to come back to this idea, but with a more ambitious,
with a lot of these, yes,
where there's a lot of them, and we also maybe even add like a gameplay goal, like maybe like a story mode or something like that. I'm sorry if that defeats the purpose, but it could. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's more so if there was any kind of goal, it'd be this thing like, hey, mix these things together to see what it is. Oh, hey, you've mixed all of these together.
Yeah, maybe like a mission mode. It's all.
No, it's more. No. It's more so like good deck straight up, where it's like, hey, you've mixed fire, water, and push.
But maybe like I get what Christian's saying. Maybe like it's like
pressure.
Like creating certain elements unlocks missions that you can now like play using those elements.
Like,
so you have like one tree
by the
for
way,
engineering.
Just another like shortcut thing. For example, so let's just a quick example. Sorry to take so long. This is really my only core idea of mine. So I mean, whatever.
It's all good.
In any case,
Take as much time as you need.
Fire and water makes steam, right?
Yes.
So if you do fire and water and push, you get a
Pressure.
steam push.
Ooh.
Get it? So if you were to put steam and push together, it'd be the same spell. So there are some shortcuts like that exist as well.
There are
So,
ways
like,
to make shortcuts
So
for
for
this.
example, wind and water, how you get ice. So if you do wind, water, push, you're gonna get an icicle shot. But if you just do icicle and ice and push, it's the same spell. You get what I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So that's another way there will be kind of like shortcuts.
So
Right,
what's the limit on how many elements you can mix at once?
2 at any given time, and some don't mix.
Okay.
Over, like,
like fire and thunder.
Yeah, energy and ice aren't gonna do anything.
Or they'll make you go backwards. I combine fire and ice. You have water.
Yeah,
There we
exactly.
go. You are now moist.
That would be really funny.
We're like, oh, that's cool. Or like a little thing pops up that's like, congratulations, you discovered a new thing. Like, if you do like a backwards one, it's like, oh, you just made water.
Yeah, can we just have like gag ones that just like do nothing but are funny?
Right. And then,
Yeah.
of course, like I said, like some of the awards in the arena might be like rainbow element, and it's just something fun to give you to work with.
You combined push and mirror. You have pull.
So yeah, unless there's any other
Whoa.
questions or whatever, that will be it for now.
This is like Bob is you now.
Yeah, it is like, well,
That's out of scope, bro.
So
we're not
basically,
making Baba as you.
I wanted to
That
make.
mechanic is so good, though.
It's so good.
I wanted it to be like Alchemist, but with actual application and mixing things.
Which I think is cool as shit.
Because
Yeah.
what will stop it from getting out of control like that is like you're not making specific objects. Like I think it's cool that you can make a record player in that game, but this is more so purely just elements, quote unquote, and
Yeah.
then making them in spells rather than making like down to the nitty gritty of mixing stuff together.
I don't even know if the record player was real. I was just quoting.
I know,
I was
but-
just making.
I
So,
think
unless there's anything else, that's it.
I think more time might also be good for this idea. Also because since it is a no-go sort of thing, we want to make sure that each spell that you create, like I guess, looks really cool and like is like you get it and you're like, oh, this is so awesome, and then you use it 100
Or
times. And that
Even
would
if
add in a
it
bit of
like
extra
comes
work.
down to it, and this might be something we
Oh,
work on.
here, hold on. I
Um,
can. Here's a link real quick. Now,
Um,
you're gonna see this, and it's gonna look like a lot, but it's not as much as it seems.
Is it a spreadsheet?
Yes, it's a spreadsheet.
It's a
I'm working on.
spreadsheet!
what are we
I
gonna
love
do?
spreadsheets.
It looks
Fucking
like a
love
ton,
spreadsheet.
but really, a lot of them are just like this, but bigger, or this, but stronger.
Access denied! Yes!
Oh,
Yo,
let
shame.
let me get the share link. I'm sorry.
It's all
Uh,
good.
So what I was gonna say is that if we're working on this over like a period of time, we can always introduce more things,
Yeah.
DLC, baby.
Oh my
yes.
god.
but free because we're not gone.
Yeah. We're good
not
company. EA
Are we?
bad.
So here,
Have we decided that yet?
No, we're just
Yeah, yeah. What if we start charging for every little thing, man?
Where do our morals stand as a
Each
company?
bell is 50 cents.
As long as we get money, who cares?
Yeah.
He's
All right, well-
Aye, Captain.
Well, the
God,
boss
if
is
you
spoken.
guys start, if you start working me like Epic, dude, I don't know.
Loot
if
box
it's gonna-
time.
Yeah. We're selling
Yeah,
out
but-
immediately, right? The first
You
chance
guys
we get,
kinda
we're selling out.
see the idea I'm going for with the spreadsheet there.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I like
This is
If we
very
sell out, can we all quit and make a new studio? Is that allowed?
Low Games 2.
That'd be great. Let's do it.
Let's
And then
do it, guys.
we become big with that company and then sell that out. And then make Whoa Games 3.
we become Wham Games.
Wham game.
Wow.
By the
games.
time we're in our 7th iteration, it's just gonna be Kablooey games, and we're just
No,
gonna give up.
if we're going with the Whoa theme, we could do, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Whoosh game.
Yeah.
Is Nuclear Winter next?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess so.
Oh wait, what's next?
Nuclear Winter.
Nuclear Splinter.
Nuclear
Alright.
Splinter Cell.
Yeah.
This
That
is
doesn't
my
sound-
Tom Clancy.
This is my second and last game design document.
So I read this earlier, and this
Yeah.
would be so much fucking fun.
It really would. Though.
This,
So,
this
I
is
don't
like
know.
a good streamer game.
Exactly. That's
Yo.
so. When I made this game initially, I kind of made when we were talking about making like games that would be scopable in a month. I started thinking of like Jackbox type games, and this was one of them that came to my head because this is a game that I play a lot with my friends up in college, like on like pad and paper.
Didn't we
But,
play this at Christian's house
Oh,
once?
we played
I
this
wouldn't
We
be
did.
last year.
Yes. So it's basically that idea, except in a video game form that you can take almost anywhere with you. So the idea
it
of the
gonna be
game
on
for
the
those-
Switch?
On the play date.
the idea of this game is that it's the nuclear winter, and you guys have a bomb shelter that you guys need to fill in, and you guys have to decide who's worthy of basically restarting human civilization and everything. And there's only a certain amount of people that can fit in this bunker. So, there would be a list of like a bunch of different characters or people or occupations or whatever, and then there would be another very like big list of traits or like personalities or things that they can do that like give them a boost or hinder them. So I gave a bunch of examples and I color coded it to make it like easier to digest. So that's like just 4 examples as to what can happen. It's your job as the player to try to advocate for your person regardless of how good or bad it is, and it's up to the one person who doesn't have a character on that display to choose who is going to be the one that goes in the nuclear bunker.
So it's like Super Fight.
Oh, dude.
Oh
Kind
my
of.
god.
But with less
Chaos.
rules.
yeah,
We should give them like a really mean looking Papers, Please kind of
Yes.
deny.
Like a sort of
Yeah.
propaganda art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing about this game that I would find the most challenging is that this is a game that not only do you have to play with at least 3 people, but
Oh.
you all kind of have to be in the same room, or you all have to be able to communicate with each other, because...
Hey, Jackbox pulled that shit. We
But
can
I
do
mean,
it
like-
too.
Yeah. Jackbox
Exactly.
style
So-
is really popular.
We're talking over a thing that allows us to do that very thing as much as we want.
Exactly. So, like, that wouldn't be a problem for, friends like us. This game is really meant for, like, groups of friends, kind of like us.
Yeah, we're not gonna sell it to
And
Stony
honestly,
We're gonna
it's-
knock on some person's
out of all
door.
of our ideas so far, it's like it's the
Most
one that is
doable.
the most basic and doable, where we have so much room,
So
new potential.
do you
unlike
create
the bomb shelter.
do you create the person and the
I
trait?
I was thinking that initially it
Yeah.
starts off as traits that are already predetermined and characters that are already predetermined.
And then
But
just
we
mix and
can
match?
absolutely do a thing where you can shuffle in your own characters.
Yo,
Like,
Steam Workshop support.
exactly.
Yes.
So
Ooh,
things
yeah,
like that,
Steam
where
Workshop
you're
support
able
would
to
be
make your own
awesome.
characters and stuff like that, and able to
It'd be
present
like
them to
Ultimate
essentially
Arena.
the world. Exactly. Exactly.
So this is like Ultimate, a more
Oh my
structured
God.
Ultimate Arena.
Ultimate
different
Arena,
versions.
you guys have no idea how much fun I have with that game, right, Jeremy?
It's such a fun game.
I think
Uh,
Brian's
Brian-
This
right.
sounds like a really great
July
July idea.
It's a great,
Dude,
Ju-
honestly,
it's a great
we could
September
bang it out
idea.
in August, like easy.
I think that this game, honestly, is like you guys have been saying, very simplistic and very easy.
This
in nature.
seems 2D though, not 3D.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
easily.
no,
Yeah.
this is
Mostly
yeah,
text
definitely.
based,
Who
probably.
cares?
Yeah.
Dude, honestly,
Yeah.
Like
I'm
this
thinking,
game seems more focused on the real life stuff.
See, like,
This
I'm
is
just
my August
imagining,
idea.
like, a little card sprite that has like the character's like occupation, and then just the trait is randomly filled in as the text.
Yeah, with like
And
a little.
I'm sorry. Can you explain that again? I'm sorry.
So it's like a little card, like a Pokemon card or Yu-Gi-Oh card, but in like a really simple art
That
style.
sounds cool.
And
Okay.
that's the character. But then like the description is the personality trait that they just randomly get.
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, I like that a lot actually.
And like it sounds like it'd be really easy to do, and it doesn't have to look good in the slightest.
Yeah,
The
I
only-
actually think
the
the
only-
art can... Oh, sorry.
The art is definitely the thing that can take the most leniency with this. I kind of
Yeah.
had a vision where there would be like a visual for every single character, but
Well, yeah.
obviously not specifically designed for
So,
every character.
here's-
Just kind of like a generic cookie cutter person that can fit any one of those people.
Here's an
I think...
idea.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Let's hear it.
going with the Papers, Please kind of look idea.
Yes.
What if we have you create like persons and stuff, and what if there's a sprite editor inside the game where you can draw the person?
Yes.
Yes.
If we think we can fit that,
Easy
Oh
peasy.
my God.
like in the scope,
Super
easy
then let's
peasy.
do it.
One
That's-
day.
yeah.
I would
So, yeah,
definitely
so-
want a
oh my God.
mechanic where you can go and visit the vault, and it has all the selections that won.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yes.
you
So
could
you
go
like
visit
a
your
part-
vault.
on
That'd
like
be
a
You go through
particular
library
person's
of
like
all
game.
Yeah, at the
people,
end
all
of
the
a
winning
session or
characters.
Like-
No, just general save data, so you could
Yeah,
go back
so like,
from like
all
a
your
game
past
is
games.
great.
Save a vault, basically.
That's
That-
great.
every
That's
character.
my God.
such a good
Yeah.
idea.
Every
get the-
character that won is saved unless you clear it.
So the way I have this game working is that it's a one controller game, so the one person who is voting has the controller and decides.
Yeah, that sounds
That-
Yeah.
fair.
That can be changed, but are you saying like, so like, if I'm like the third person who's deciding who goes in the vault, I can go in the vault and check it at any time?
No. It's like not gameplay related. It's like
It's on the title screen. There's like a hey, visit past vaults from past games.
Yeah.
Oh,
it just
I
has
see
all
what
your-
you're saying. Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm
So
thinking it would probably.
so
So
you could go through and see all the wacky stuff that won.
It's
So-
like
hey,
what
Quick
we
question.
could do when you're selecting characters, right? So you use left and right to choose which character you'd want to put in the vault, and then you can press A to actually choose them. But if you want to see who's in the vault, you can press up, and then a little thing pops up of like inside the vault currently, and it shows you all the characters that are in the vault.
Yeah.
Well, is that like? I don't think your total people in the vault affects gameplay. It's just how many.
Yeah, no, it's not
if
supposed to
you
affect
win
gameplay.
by having the
Well,
most
because
amount of people selected.
No, no,
like-
no, 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 it's not
No,
supposed
no.
to be gameplay
so
related.
you get that. So no, listen, I get that. I do. I'm just spitting out another idea.
Okay.
So what if
'Cause I-
okay?
Oh.
To
And quick-
just to add to this, every game gives you a random date of when this is happening, so that you could be like, let's go back to 2025 and look at the vault, the bunker that was like the people in the bunker at that time, and be like, and then there's another nuclear winter in like 2040.
Or
my
should we just give it like a fake year, like the
20
year?
XDX.
No,
Yeah.
like the year 13 after nuke.
Yeah, the year 1.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
could do
like
stuff like that. Yeah.
Quick
So
question.
that like, oh, go on.
So since we're doing the whole custom sprite thing, would you get the name and their trait, and then you'd have to put the sprite to it?
I just think when you when you put in a custom person, you also have to draw the picture for them, or like
Oh.
to get
Oh,
like
you-
So the game is going to come.
You said your
prepackaged.
primary target is controller, right?
I'm sorry.
It's like you want controller or like keyboard and mouse pass between each other. 'Cause this seems like a couch thing, man.
I pictured this more as like a couch kind of game.
But
Yeah.
you could, I mean,
So
you could easily do it
maybe-
with mouse.
Maybe
Okay.
you could have it so it has like predefined hair with arrows where you could flip back and forth. Kind of like a lot of games do
Oh
that.
yeah, that might be even
Well,
smoother.
I
Because
get
that would
what's
be
going-
a lot
Let's
simpler to make.
Let's say hypothetically someone wants to create like their dog and put them in the game. They're
Right,
gonna
so-
have a hard time creating their dog if it's only human.
Why not
interaction.
just PNG upload?
No, hold on. Hey, look, second, please.
No
What I was
talking.
getting at is you have the pre-generated ones already put in, and then when you want to make a custom one, then you get the sprite editor.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because people were like getting confused by it seems,
No,
and
we
trying to
weren't.
add on to it or do different things.
No, we just kept talking about like 6 different mechanics at once.
Yeah.
Guys, I
Sorry.
think there should be guns in the game.
And you
And
should
a battle
draw-
royale. Battle royale.
I feel
want a
like
bus.
we could add more traits too. So it's like you consider their trait and you consider where they're from and you have to consider this health condition. And we could just keep expanding in that way.
But I just
This is
like
And
very
then if you want to
expand-
play it the traditional way, we could have them all as options that you turn on and off.
I just really like how funny and mimetic this could be without taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Because
Like
you
Eddie
can
said,
get-
it's a great stream game.
You could get something like
To break
pregnant
the
woman who is pregnant.
and then it's
Or
like
something
medical
like that.
condition has no legs.
Yeah.
Or that, well, I feel like that'd just be like the trait.
To
Yeah,
break,
you can make the medical condition like has severe asthma or something like that.
yeah.
I think
To
the
break the running trope. This sounds like a great August idea.
I think we've said that.
Did we?
don't.
no, it's
Did we?
really good July idea.
This is a really good April idea, like, honestly.
This is a really good
So
13th.
I love this. This is new to me. I didn't see this. I didn't read the GDDs when this was put in. So
This gets at least one of my votes.
I put this in I think yesterday.
It's
So,
great. I
this
love
is-
it.
Good shit, good shit.
Is there anything else?
That's it. That's everything there is to it.
Dude,
Nuclear sphincter.
I'm down.
Eat my nuts.
I do
Okay.
like it.
A space
next
marine who
one-
kills any child on sight. Isn't that just a regular marine?
Oh no.
Oh, no.
What kind of dystopia? Oh god.
Okay.
Pregnant Waluigi.
Next is Jeremy and I's Perilous Poker, and also kind of
I-
Eddie, but we changed the game entirely.
Oh,
Which is why we
okay.
don't have your name on anymore, but you could still like talk and stuff, man.
You're fired.
Because the old
Wow.
idea was just completely out of scope.
Like way beyond out of scope.
I don't
It's
even know what the
scaled
hell
down.
I was talking about.
Yeah, don't worry. So we put it into scope.
Maybe. Anyway. Jeremy, do you want to do this?
Yeah, sure. So in Perilous Poker, you're trapped, forced to play a deadly game of poker with up to 7 other AI. So the total pool of 8 characters that you can choose from. So there'd be 2 characters for each suit of cards, 1 male and 1 female for each suit. And the AI is selected. You can either select or have the AI be chosen randomly when you do that. From there, players will all bet against each other for the reward of escaping their situation and not dying. It's intended to be basically just playing poker with a dark twist, but still presented in a tone that's for entertainment and not gruesomeness or horror. So basically, you're playing poker, but you're betting like your life basically on each turn.
I
Like,
like
that's-
this
so
dark
you-
twist.
You up the ante by literally like betting your life. Like for example, you have so much amount of poison running through your veins right now, but you bet like antidote and stuff like that.
Yes.
So when
So-
someone runs out, they're removed from the table, and everyone gains a small portion of what they bet to add to their own pots to keep going. And then, oh yeah, I mean, do you want to? What's up?
No,
yeah, go ahead.
um,
Sorry, I'm like here.
you're good.
Sorry.
So the total amount of bets you get at the beginning of each game will definitely be varied on how many players are in it. So if you're just doing like a mano showdown, it'll be shorter but a more intense game or something, so on and so forth. So yeah, we're kind of leaving it to be like abstract, where it's like they're removed from the table. You don't know what happens. You don't see anything. So if it happens to you, all you see is that it transitions to an empty room with a threatening message, your time is up, something along those lines. And there's an impending countdown, and right as the countdown hits 0, it'll go back to the main screen. So it's supposed to be left up to interpretation as to what's happening to people who lose.
And
I
then
like
you'll be
that.
dropped into tilted towers.
They throw you off the bus.
Yo, a battle royale of all the guys who lose their lives.
Yes.
They're
So,
forced to watch slime videos on YouTube.
I did
Oh
want
my
to.
god. Just kill
sorry.
me.
I
Yeah,
did
sorry,
want to
there's
say.
still more. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good.
So the encouragement, there's encouragement beyond winning. So there's going to be like I said, there's characters, so to speak. So the first 3 wins with each character will provide something unique. The first win with a character will give you like a little basic profile on them, like fun fact stuff, which their dialogue may or may not imply as you play. The second win, you get a little backstory blurb for them, and there's going to be little accessories on each character that will turn silver on your second win. The third win, when you win with them, you get like a little escape story that details what they do after escaping the situation, and that accessory that was silver turns gold. So there's like a little bit of incentive to play all the characters and win with all of them.
Like
But
an
then
achievement
beyond
sort of
that,
thing.
it's just a poker game, basically.
Yeah, that's I do want to say sorry if I was like sort of like
No, you're
eager to,
good.
like interrupt, but so this might be not a good idea. Call me out if it is not a good idea. But I had the thought of like, since this is poker, this game could definitely absolutely work as just poker, and it would probably it's still a-okay and super fun. I thought maybe an idea could be as an extra mechanic to also add maybe like the dark atmosphere. I'm sorry, while you were talking, I was thinking of this idea of like, what if you're like, I want to have more chips, but I need to give something. So you could like, I don't know, cut off one of your have the option to cut off one of your fingers, and
my
they'll give you
God.
more chips. But it makes it like
My
harder to
fingies.
off or something. I don't know, something along those lines. Like
I was thinking of any additional elements based on how we might do it. Is that like when you're on the brink of death, essentially, like when you hit a certain like chip, quote unquote, threshold, that like you might not see one or two of the cards that are revealed because your vision's going in and out, so you don't know exactly what the full hand is and what you're betting on.
Do you remember that movie? It was like the guy only had like a timer to live, and it was like
Crank.
I don't know.
Oh shit!
Which
He
is
I want to see
basically
that movie.
like they had like a watch or like a tattoo on their arm with like their
Oh,
time.
just in time?
Yeah, I don't know.
exactly. It could be something like that.
Just
when you're
know,
betting
Jeremy,
time.
just know that creates a negative feedback loop where the players who are losing are punished more severely.
I guess
That's
it's sort
what
of like
you're
if a.
going for.
I guess it's sort of
That's
like
what
if
you're
a blue
going for,
shell.
go for it. But
Yeah.
just keep in mind that
Well, no,
that
it'll be
because
mostly like a. Well,
some
no,
people don't like that in games.
it's not gonna. Well, what I meant to say is rather not a lower chip threshold. It's more of a last chance feature. So after
Okay.
you run out of chips, before you're removed from the table,
That's
you
better.
pretty much have like an RNG. It's not totally RNG, but it's like, hey, you ran out of chips. Your last chance to stay in is to survive this hand, but you're suffering from the effects of almost dying
This
while it
seems like
happens.
this seems like a cool game. I mean, totally agreeable that like the an extra like mechanic, like I think the mechanic that you said was definitely like good for keeping things simple. You're right. If there was like more mechanics than that, it might be
Yeah,
complicated.
so it's just poker, and like you have a last chance turn basically, where before you're removed or before an AI is removed, they're still in the turn for one game, but
Yeah.
they don't know exactly what every card is. I don't know how hard that might be to program, but whatever.
It's
Easy
I
peasy.
think if it's just poker, then it should be
The
good.
hardest part is we would need Tan to do the art.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
So,
definitely an
The
art
thing
game.
is, all Tan would have to do is at least a bust of the 8 characters each. It literally could just be waist up, and then one little accessory that we can just color swap.
Like maybe you could only see their glasses in the dark or something. Or
Well,
like
that's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah,
earrings or
one
something.
character would have glasses that go from
We
normal
could have
to
10.
silver to gold.
We could have Tan draw it in a way, like just pick colors that we could then do complete palette swaps
Exactly.
for the
Like,
characters too.
It'll be something that we can, because all that really happens is you start off with like the basic character design, and then with win number 2, so one of their accessories, like whether it's a bracelet, a necklace, or glasses, something, it turns silver. Like, oh, one character, it might even be like streaks in their hair that go from silver to gold.
Yeah, but if you set it up in a certain way, you could do a lot more than that. Like you have a guy whose tuxedo is black, and for the first time you win, you get a version where his tuxedo is red, and for the next version, it's gold or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, if we could do it that way without making Tan do everything, I would be fine with that. Because
Yeah.
we were thinking of literally just cropping whatever portrait it is into a little corner with a text box, and that's how they speak, quote unquote.
I think there's definitely a simple way to do the art style that can also definitely be effective. You know, mysterious is effective. So
So,
Yeah.
if it's 2D, are we playing in first person, or is it just going to be like
Probably like
a
a top-down
simulation
view.
of it? Yeah,
Yeah,
like a top-down type thing.
I picture either top down or first person with Danganronpa like 2D flat sprites around the table.
Doom
So
sprites.
it's 3D but with 2D sprites.
So billboarded,
Yes.
Yes.
or I guess not really if nothing's really rotating.
Right. Well, essentially, it'd be simple billboarded style, or just a top-down simulation of a poker table. So it's a poker game with like characters that you can learn about and stuff by winning with them and upgrading, and then beyond that, it's just a poker game with like a last chance mechanic.
I like the
And
idea a
maybe
lot of
something
like. Well, I like the idea of a lot because I sort of like. I mean, one of my favorite Jackbox games is Trivia Murder Party. I love the idea of putting like dark twist on
Yeah.
simple game.
Oh my
Yeah, it
god,
could
that one's
definitely
great.
just be like it could definitely be like a Saw setting where like
Right.
there's
Yeah, I
like
was thinking
chains
that
and shit on
too.
the wall, and then there's that like mysterious person who's like, "You must play poker to live," or something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
that's like, and they're the dealer too.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Yes.
They're like wearing a mask of some kind, so you don't know exactly who they are.
Right.
We
And
shall
like
call
as
them
an
Zero.
AI, every character would have like a simple trait of how they act, and like they have dialogue that they'll quip every so often.
We can name them something threatening, like I'm just coming off with this off the cuff, like Monokuma or
Crump.
or-
Right.
Or
Crump.
Fortnite.
Yeah. Or
And so
Fortnite.
like so and like with the characters, you'd obviously have like a male and female that represent the diamond suit, and one that represents the hearts. You know what I mean? So that's how you
Yeah,
get your
yeah.
8 characters. So you choose to play one of them. That's how you unlock their stuff, and then you can play 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2, or all 8 in one game. So that's what
I
we
like it.
were. Because originally it was going to be way crazy with like you have to like discover a traitor while you're playing the poker
Yeah,
game
so
and whatnot.
one
which
of the
was
people
cool.
craft you, but yeah.
How hard would it be to program like
Yes.
poker? How hard would it be to program poker in a video game?
Poker's doable.
You're
It
asking
shouldn't be.
nothing about poker.
It shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Poker's definitely doable.
See,
I
once
feel
we-
like with poker there would be like a lot of if-thens. I don't know
Yeah.
how coding works. I really don't know, but
Yeah, but
It's okay, Clanky.
Because I feel
Neither
like
do we.
the main
So-
struggle with making this game would be making an engine that correctly, does the
let's
rules
see-
of poker.
Yeah.
let's see. How well do you think you can program 52 factorial?
Yum.
I'm sure there's limitless YouTube tutorials on how to program poker.
a
Oh,
deck of
yeah.
cards.
Like-
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So let's just make Clanky do it all.
Obviously,
Yeah.
blackjack would be
Like,
way
you're so
easier,
smart, you do it.
But
Blackjack
Yeah, I'm a genius.
is incredibly easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So
but
and
poker
hey,
would be-
if poker proves to be too hard, we could also make it blackjack.
Perilous war, let's do it.
And I'll win every time because I can card count and none of you else can.
All right. And Eddie, do you want to add something?
No, you guys basically fixed every like weird speed bump we had with the
Oh my
old one.
god. What if instead of blackjack or
Poker was Uno.
yes.
Were you actually thinking Uno?
And the longer it goes on, the more and more the characters start to complain about how much pain they're in.
I
no,
reverse you. No, I insist. I reverse you.
Guys,
And
I'm missing
die.
3 fingers.
and you just look at the deck in the center and it reaches like to the ceiling.
Player 4 was skipped, making him tonight's big
Biggest-
loser. And
The
then
most-
like a trap door goes below him and he falls in a fire pit.
The most terrifying part of that game would be how long that game would last.
No, I think
feel
instead
like that
of
would be
Uno, it should be Risk. That way,
Oh,
they're there
wow.
as long as humanly possible.
Anyway,
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 so is anyone any
Christian.
other questions?
Wait. Oh shit, it's my turn, I
your
guess.
game, Christian.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh god, I'm taking the floor. Oh Jesus. Welcome to Christian Talks About Shitty Game for 10 minutes. Let's go.
GT game.
D
I
game.
like.
It's kind of like it's
Quiz?
viscous. It's a very viscous. So
Moist
this is-
game.
this is Slime Champions. It falls into the very unique position of being way too simple, but also out of scope at the same time. So, this is gonna be interesting. So it's a fighting game for 2 to 4 players already. Like we might as well run away as quickly as we can.
Battle Royale.
I swear to God,
Go on.
I will put you in Fortnite. But so it could be a 2D or 3D game. I'm thinking it could either be like Smash Brothers or Power Stone would be the
But Smash
2.
isn't a fighting game.
You're right. So it's a party game. It could either be based on 2D like Smash Brothers or 3D like Power Stone, or if any of you, this is a weird one. If any of you have ever played the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy game for GameCube and Wii, that
Oh,
one
Christian,
is
you
a
need to leave right now.
Charlie
it's
and
a
the
really
Chocolate
great
Factory for the Game Boy
3D
Advance.
party game. It's great fighting fun, and it's not bad. Play it at your own risk.
It would make it a July game.
No.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is
Go
a
on.
fucking 2021 game.
All right, let's
so,
hear it, Christian.
so basically, yeah, you fight in this environment. It's like a regular fighting game, but you're both slime, and you just beat the crap out of each other. But whenever anyone punches the other opponent, the opponent, instead of just losing health, all of their health is expelled out of their body, as like little bits of slime that just go all over the place. Disgusting. Ew. Ew. And so once those bits of slime are on the floor, not only can the person who hit them go and pick up those slimes to gain some of their health back, the person who lost the slimes can recover a bit of their health, or they can go on the offensive and attack their opponent to get their slime out. It's like a tug-of-war fighting game. If any of you have played the final boss of the first God of War, it is a tug-of-war.
Oh, you know what this
fighting.
reminds me of? There's
Oh.
a fighting game where you play as the wacky waving inflatable arm tube men.
I love
No
that.
way. What's the name
Yeah.
of it? I'm gonna
I
buy
don't
it.
remember off the top of my head.
There's
my best
another
friends played
game
it.
that this reminds me of.
So basically, you're fighting to deflate each other.
Yes.
So it's kind. I kind of think of it like
Oh my
that, where
God.
it's a constant like battle back and forth until one
Yeah.
slime
There-
eventually absorbs the other. And
there-
also, if you guys scroll down, there's a really awesome visual design document that he made that I'm watching.
Oh,
and like, this is
I've
great.
been
We can make
watching
a-
it on loop. It's fantastic.
We
I
can
feel
make a
like
battle royale of Roombas with knives.
I feel like there should be
Wait,
Hold on, go on, Dan.
there should be a threshold where one slime is able to completely devour the other.
With like a
And then
super
you-
attack.
Like a gun.
Finishers, I was thinking.
Oh.
So once you get like to a certain size and your opponent is also at a certain size, you could do a finisher and it would look cool
This
or something.
Fatality.
This could definitely come into play with the with a mix of the siphon attacks, which are because I
Grabs?
realize with a tug of war game, with a tug of war game like this, there's the threat of it like going back and forth and sort of going into a stalemate. The siphon attacks are basically attacks that are stronger but permanently deplete some of the total slime pool in the entire area. Like if you look at the visual design document, you can see on the top that's sort of like the tug of war style health bar. If you use a siphon attack, the total size of that bar will shrink from your end, and that slime will be permanently destroyed. So possibly by the end of the game, that bar could be much smaller because there's way less available slime because you've been using powerful slime attacks. And one
So
of the attacks that you said, Dan, the one that just devours someone, could be a siphon attack, but if you miss, that slime is gone. Sorry, Eddie,
So-
I interrupted you.
no.
That's good.
Yes, I do like the idea of that. There is another game that this reminds me of that has almost the exact same like mechanic.
Ah, fair.
It
I
is
figured
called-
that might be out there.
It is called Coffence, and it is a game where you play as characters who have coffee mugs and really stretchy fingers. And what
Arms.
you do,
It's arms.
it's not arms.
It's
It's a
arms.
good game.
It's arms.
It's an
Eddie
actual
plays
good
arms.
game.
2K19.
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
even own the game. Clanky, shut up.
believe-
You
I
are
can't
within
believe-
Clanky.
I can't believe Eddie
Shut
wants to
up.
Clanky, shut up.
Clanky, you are within child beating distance.
I am looking at Cough Fence, and it looks... So wait, with Cough Fence, when they knock the coffee
You
out,
knock the coffee in the air and then catch it in your mug.
that is the...
And your goal is to empty their mug and fill your mug to drink the coffee.
That is a very cool game, and I want to play that to research on this. I
Me
feel
too.
Two things that could differentiate this from that. One, if we make this 3D, like Power Stone, which I think might overall look better and would be easier for us so we wouldn't 2D sprites, it would already differentiate itself. And
So-
secondly, the slime will always like stick all over the place, so you don't have to catch it. You can sort of like do a strategy of like, I'm gonna leave that slime there and attack the other player, and then go back and get my slime. Possibly.
So if,
That's just a differentiated possibly.
if we're doing this for 2 players, then I think the 2D is fine. If we're doing this for up to 4 players, I think the Power Stone type idea might be better.
Yeah.
I like the
Just because
4-player idea.
Because having this, like, I'm just taking the visual design document because it's very good.
Oh, thank
By
you.
the
It's a
way.
prototype.
Yeah, it's fucking
I'm
great.
taking this into
Thank you.
account. Having 4 players at this scale, even with platforms or not, would be way too hectic.
Oh yeah, that's super fair.
Um,
Very fair.
But
In
I
a 3D
also like,
environment.
I also like the idea of like you pick up your little basically you pick up the little baubles of health. But if you want to make this more like a traditional, or I don't even say traditional fighter, like more of like an actual like fighting game, you could just make those devour attacks the equivalent of grabs,
That's
where
fair.
they're unblockable, but they like aren't easy to get because you have to be really close.
Yeah.
And
Does-
if they try to hit you, then obviously they're gonna lose.
I will say my fighting game, when it comes to me like coming up with ideas for fighting games, it is incredibly limited. So I would
Don't worry.
absolutely like.
Eddie can definitely help you on that front.
I
That
have
is-
no idea what I'm doing.
I have every idea of what I'm doing.
Oh, thank
Would-
God. Because
Would a smaller slime like be faster and more nimbler, whereas like a
Yeah.
bigger slime would
I
be
mean,
heavier and
that's what I'm thinking. A bigger
it would
slime would
only
be
be more
slower.
fair.
Yeah, it would make it so
That's-
the
yeah,
loser can come back.
That's exactly what I was thinking as well.
But the bigger slime
No,
has less risk to use siphon attacks, which it could possibly use more of since it's bigger. It could be like, okay, I could get away with using it.
I have enough
bigger
health to
range.
get away with this.
Yeah, just an idea.
I like how
so-
I like how they're cute little slimes and they just have full fist.
Yeah.
It just turned into fists. They just go poof.
So
I know we have like 0 art budget, but we should make them slime girls and then just make bank off of the anime fuckers on Steam.
So I'm gonna
That's a
quit the
great idea.
company, right?
That is,
just a
I-
quick interjection.
I'm upset how
Um,
well that would sell.
I know.
We should have the vote obviously for the 3 that we want to make for this summer, but there should definitely be like the runner-ups because there's too many good ideas floating
So,
around.
here's
for us
the
to
thing.
Just...
And I think everyone here will agree with me. None of these are going in the trash can. These are all gold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
no.
using all of
We
Jared.
have to
There
make
are
it.
no bad ideas. It's what we're
These
capable
are all amazing. Like they're really good.
The,
It's,
the only
it's not going to
real
be easy to choose.
no, the only real viable process of how we have to eliminate things is whether we know we'll be able to do it in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Pascone looks at us with a horrifying look in his face and says he'll get it done.
Oh, the-
Hey,
But-
I mean, I'm willing to kill myself over
Pascone's third eye opens up.
We're all teleported into a hyperbolic game studio.
Oh
Dude,
no.
'cause
Out of
that-
all
dude,
the
if that was the
possible
case-
endings I've seen, in all of them, I've gotten it done.
Oh god.
Pascone is our Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's why he's got shaky hands.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's
My
how you program.
hands.
You program with Doctor
I
Strange.
just shake my hands on the keyboard and it makes things.
Shaky peepee hands.
Don't
So,
talk.
Child abuse PP clown?
is there anything?
That's the whole
Else?
idea, basically.
I love
Um,
it.
Obviously, being fighting game man, I am down to clown with this.
Yay!
This is literally the least complicated I've seen a fighting game be in the longest time, and I love
I'm
it.
very glad. I can't make anything more complicated than this.
No, it's
No,
good.
this is perfect.
Simple fighting games are.
I'm
fun.
just worried though because like fighting games need a lot of
Yeah.
not balance but precision and like feel goodness. Like
they need to
Yeah.
feel
That is
right.
true.
You're
played
right.
fighting games that weren't fluid and I couldn't play it. Like, you know
Yeah.
how much work is put into like Smash Bros to make it feel as clean and smooth as possible.
Yeah.
Make them cute
Except for
girls.
4.
People will buy it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just
People
worried
buy
that
it.
like in a month we might not be able to polish it all
The
that
biggest
well, I guess.
risk. Yeah, you're right. The biggest risk will be making the mix of physics and input feel
Mhm.
correct.
But
and feel
so
satisfying.
We already agreed that I say agreed, but I think a Power Stone 3D type feel for something like this would be fine.
Mm.
And those usually get away with being a bit more on the clunky side because they strive on chaos.
Yeah, that is fair. This is
Like-
gonna be more of a. This will definitely probably be when it's done classified as a party game. But I would
Like-
also not mind going in the fighting game
Like-
direction.
Power Stone itself is a well-beloved game that is on the jankier side.
Yeah, it's janky, but people fucking love it anyway.
Yes.
Yeah,
despite
you're
the
not
fact
trying
they
to make
haven't made
something
a-
that's going to be played as boards here, Chris.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah, we're not going to eat.
This is not going to Evo, but
Yeah.
it could go to Evo. I mean, they had Skullgirls, and that game's just as bad.
Oh
Oof.
boy.
They also have Smash there.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
that's
it's
true.
not a fighting game.
No, see,
Wait,
party.
no, not this year.
Yeah,
Oh, no, they still have Smash.
Oh,
Just not Melee.
yeah, just
their
not
next
the one
is
that
an
everyone
Eddie
likes.
idea, actually.
Yeah.
Well, uh-oh.
I made one. I made it in a day. I only edited it earlier today. Let's fucking do this.
I love all these
and we-
names.
Can we keep that as the full title?
Yes.
Yes.
I made this in a day.
Guys, let's play Splatter Batter, Splat Bat, Splatter Bat, Splat Batter, Splatter Up.
Or
God.
SB, SB, S up.
Yes.
No, I like up being the you don't use
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you use up.
It's just
SBS
up.
It sounds
God
like
damn
it sounds like a cheat code.
That's awful. I love it.
Okay, tell us your idea.
Okay, so
You could just remove the
This-
title, not final part, right now. By the way,
okay, so this game, title pending, it's essentially a character action puzzle game hybrid, where so who here is not familiar with the term character action? Because you know what the game looks like, but you might not know what it is based on the words I'm using.
I cannot say that I'm familiar with that term.
Devil May Cry.
Ah, okay,
Devil May
nice. All right.
Cry, Bayonetta, 2 Degree, God of War,
Sounds good. Now I
Nier
know.
Automata, Metal Gear Rising, Assault Spy. Like, a lot of those, like, single character based fight off, like, monsters and enemies as cool as possible.
Yes.
So, essentially, your character is stuck on, like, a baseball field, and you're being attacked by these goo monsters. And they're, at least for starters, they're all one of the 6, colors of the rainbow. Your red, blue, orange, green,
Roy G.
blue,
Biv.
purple.
Roy
Yeah,
G. Biv.
Roy G. Biv. The
Roy
best
G.
boy
Biv.
ever.
Oh god.
Except no Violet. Violet's whack. And your goal is to take them down to essentially empty, in which case you put yourself in a state to execute them, and you literally line up a shot and drive them out of the park. But because they're made of colored goo, what you can do is when you go to hit them, you can actually aim it for this board past the stands, or even in the stands if it would make it easier. But essentially you can make it to color up this board in either like a memory puzzle, like Jeremy Pascone, you remember that one that we had to do during the Swags Athlon during Mystery Murder Party?
Yeah.
Where we had to like the grid of blocks and we had to color in the specific ones?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh.
a memory puzzle like that, but based off the 6 colors. Like it could be a flower, it could be a pumpkin.
There's a game in Mario Power
Some-
Tennis that I think is kind
yes,
of
it's
similar
like
to that.
but more of an action game.
This sounds fun as hell.
But there's also another type of puzzle I thought you can do with it, and that's a sliding block puzzle.
Oh.
So this one matters less on what colors you hit, but since a sliding block puzzle only has one, one piece available to move at a time, you can just hit the arrows, or even just hit the button to move a piece into the blanks. Yeah, you'd hit the arrows, and it would essentially move the board to the point where the piece moves into that spot. Sliding block puzzle.
I like this a lot.
So the two main, honestly, like the real, it would be like a double-sided mechanic thing where you would just have like the puzzles. I'm not sure how you would program a color puzzle like that or a sliding block puzzle.
Easy peasy is how we do it.
All right,
Yes.
so
Super.
even that, honestly, then the only thing that might really need like tweaking is the actual combat side.
Yeah. Which
Because
I guess
as I can tell you, and Jeremy can tell you, the main point of a character action game is nothing more but that it's mechanically responsive and it just feels good.
yeah, that'll certainly be the most difficult part, but I feel
Yeah.
like it's doable.
Now, I don't actually have a visual design document for this, mainly because I couldn't think of how to make it. But
it's alright. None of mine had that
Yeah.
either, so I
Yeah,
feel
It's
ya.
all fair.
the idea is just your basic HUD of like your health and your score. So there's a few other things that I thought would be really cool because when it comes to a lot of these games, you don't have your full moveset right off the bat. And you normally get it as you progress with whatever sort of skill system, like score system you have. Like in Devil May Cry, you had to get red orbs. In Bayonetta, you had to collect halos. Like all the games like that, you would always have to buy them. And while, as a fan of the games, I think that's a good system. But since I don't want to make this particularly difficult for anyone, and also because there's no campaign mode to go through over and over again, and it's more wave-based, I think what it should do is when your score hits certain milestones, then it will unlock something. So that way it doesn't feel like you're lowering your score, only raising it. Which
That's
means that
good,
every
too.
time you play the game, you're always getting
Making
something.
progress.
You're always making progress.
Okay.
And so that'll lead to like new moves.
And a
I
potential
mean-
idea to make it easier in a sense. So when you like initiate and execute on an enemy, maybe the screen can even switch to the puzzles, like the puzzle board.
And just
you-
have like a little target reticle.
Right, you select which square you want to hit them into, rather
Mhm.
than actually like aiming it, quote unquote.
Well, I didn't mean it like aim it like directly from the person. I just meant like you have an arc that has like a little indicator of where it's going to go.
Oh yeah, and you just select what square you want it to
Yeah.
land on. Yeah, exactly.
But like I also thought there would be like a really cool like a lot of memes that we can do into this that would make it really funny. Like have every round be called an inning because it's baseball.
Yeah.
And then if
I
you
like
make
that.
it to the 27th inning, you get a new bat called the Legend. And it's just a big candy bar.
Oh my god.
And it's a big candy bar.
The Legend 27.
Yes, and
Oh
it's
my
just
God.
and you're just swinging a Baby Ruth at them. Or maybe we can have like a hidden difficulty above easy with no name where you kill all the enemies in one hit.
Just super
And
easy.
they just give you a pencil and it's actually called journalist mode.
I like
Oh
that
my
a lot.
God.
That's fucking
Yes. Oh my god, I would want to do it just for that.
fun.
But-
Please.
Well, I don't have anything as extensive as Jeremy's like spreadsheet for everything. I have written down a move list include like of how each attack would interact with each other and how your different attacks would work. Like some of them might be launchers, some of them might hit low, which might just slow in enemies so they don't attack you if you hit them while they're going to attack.
Or
Which-
a stun.
Yes, or a stun.
Mm.
I in fact went back earlier and took out the medium attack button.
So there's
because
just light and heavy.
there's
so-
light and heavy. Because I realized something. A baseball bat is not easy to swing around.
That is fair.
It does not make sense to have 3 attack buttons for it.
So you're
This
either
is
doing an
fair.
average swing.
You could
or
always
you're-
do like a bunt where you can go ram people.
That's
If you
true,
want
but like... See,
I was thinking bunt
couldn't
could be like
think-
your block.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, like you would bunt for your block, and then you also have like a dodge that's invincible.
Or
But
could
there's
put
2
slide
attacks
on
you...
the base.
But there's actually 2 attacks you can do from your dodge. If you dodge and then hit light, you do a slide.
Like
And
a
that'll
baseball
put-
slide, sliding
Like
it
a
for
baseball
base.
Yeah.
slide. And if you do a heavy attack, you do stinger, but with the baseball bat.
That's
and it's
cool.
called dinger.
Yes.
We need to have
like
like
it.
something that makes your character look like Ness.
I mean, I
As
would...
close as we can get to
Yeah, as
natural
close as we can
Nintendo
get
Super.
without Nintendo killing us.
Okay,
Well,
so what
Nate-
we do is we make it have vertical stripes.
Yeah, stripes
And
in a
a-
baseball cap isn't copyrighted.
Yeah.
No.
And I think most people would get that reference.
Yeah.
We call it the KO outfit
Oh, that's smart.
instead of
man.
okay.
His
Okay.
weapon can be called the PK bat.
Okay,
So-
so
Okay,
I,
Bond.
In
oh,
my humble
Final idea?
opinion, this
Yeah.
game is not possible.
I kind of have to agree,
For the-
unfortunately.
Yeah.
All
It's a
the
good July game.
all the animations are impossible to make. Making it feel good would not be possible.
In the times frame.
Yeah, in the time
Yeah.
frame.
But this sounds like so much fun,
But
and
this
I
is
would
the thing
love
we
to
have
do
to
this.
I know.
Oh, can we have... When we put in the 3 games we want to do, can our 4th one be like a game we would put in if scope didn't matter?
Well, I mean, that's all of them. Let's face
know.
it.
Yeah.
That's
For
fair.
real, I would like to see all these games come to life at some point.
Yeah, I really do too.
I
But
think with that, we only have one more left, right? Because
Do
we
we?
know swing. Are
we
we
all
doing
know
swing?
What's swing? What's a swing?
So yeah,
Are we
I
doing
could just go over swing. Swing is if we wanted because swing is the just in case August game. Since
We don't get anything else.
since we're gonna be pretty busy in August, we could just choose to finish swing.
I mean, that's not a bad
Thanks.
idea.
Not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, and
I have a
Matt,
question.
Matt, I know
Is this
you saw
something
those.
you've worked on already?
Remember on my
Yes.
website you saw those.
Oh, the
GIFs?
circle. The thing that like spins in a circle, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's that game.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's
Okay, that is a good ace in the hole.
Yeah.
so this is just in case. I
Okay.
guess.
I have a
but-
question.
Yes, what are you gonna say?
In a backup August game, why don't we make Chrome Apocalypse and Kaleidoscopolis 2?
How about you die?
I would love to make Chromocopolis in Kaleidoscopolis too, but I don't think we can make it feel good in a month.
That's fair.
I don't think we could make it feel good ever.
No, we can if we didn't use Christian's fucking movement. Anyway, sorry.
Wow.
I didn't break it that bad. It was fixable.
Just
Not in 72
suplex him
hours.
under a bus.
I'm sorry.
Let's move on to Bartender.
Look, a lot of bad things happen in that game.
The aggression of that jam comes back.
That game was so bad.
It's so bad.
But the art was so good.
The
It was
art was
such
so
good
good,
art.
and the sound was really good,
Yeah,
it was such
the-
good art.
and the level design was god awful. Man,
but we didn't know
That's
that
second-
until we put it in the anyway,
And it's just
whatever.
like, oh no,
Anyway.
it's too late.
that second level still makes me keep me
Yeah.
up at night.
That game is a big bartender. Ha ha ha. Anyway. So this is the first game idea I came up with, and I still love it. Anyway, so it's a fast-paced puzzle arcade bartending game. Basically,
one to four
no, it's not. It's one player. It's basically keep talking. Nobody has gotten onto the keep talking, nobody explodes train except for Jackbox for one game. We need to get on that train with this game. So you get given a drink name. You have to decipher that name and make a drink basically based on it. So it's like, oh, there's 2 O's in this word right next to each other. That means it has orange juice. Oh, all the words in the name ends in Z. That means it has gin or something. And if we could do like, oh, there's alliteration with all the words. That means it has this drink. You could do a bunch of crazy stuff like that. So, and it basically, the faster you make the drink, the more points you get, and it's infinite. It keeps getting more drinks every time you defeat one until you just make one wrong. And then, and also, so like every 3 drinks, we could change that. Every 3 drinks, it adds another word to the name. So like, the first 3 drinks will just have 1 word. Then the second 3 drinks will have 2 words, and it'll just keep getting crazier and crazier. So that it's like, oh shit, look guys, screenshot. I got like 10 words in this run.
So like the first few drinks, like the first one you get will be like, make me a goople.
Yeah, and then it's a
And it's like,
Goople door.
It's like the goople. That's a screwdriver. I know that because it has the 2 O's, and if it starts with a G and ends with an E, then it's vodka.
Yeah,
Would the manual be in game? Or
it would be in game. Obviously, I guess we can have like a website where you can just print it out. But I think this isn't going to. I don't think this suits a other people helping you kind of thing. Like keep talking, nobody explodes. It's more like a Valhalla.
Maybe like a Papers, Please?
Or Papers, Please.
more
Yeah,
like
Valhalla or Papers, Please, where it's like, okay, this is the word. Okay, let me look at the manual. Oh yeah, okay. Let's go, boys.
Okay.
Except Valhalla, they have to be cryptic as all hell.
Like the Fibonacci sequence, but in any case.
Yeah, like, oh, I didn't realize I was serving Dr. Seuss here.
Stay.
Anyway, that's the basic gist of the game. I have a visual design document.
The gist of the game. I hate that guy. Moving
Don't
on.
talk about him. But yeah, it's pretty simple.
The Sherma first Zabulapu.
Yeah.
I personally really like this
orange
one.
juice.
There's only orange juice.
Because
Orange juice is the only drink of choice.
what's really cool about this one is that all the like appearances of the drinks will be really fun to play around with, like using 3D
Yeah.
shaders and liquids
Yeah.
and stuff.
So I'd want to make basically a shader for every ingredient, and then try to combine the shaders depending on like the drink. to,
That
like,
sounds
make it-
cool.
Yeah.
So
And then
Or you
what's-
could do
what's
lerp
cool-
math if you're doing like
Yeah. I can lerp some stuff.
So what's the code word for bathwater?
Oh no.
what's the code word for gamer girl?
Well,
I'm glad
I don't
Dan
want to
picked up what
know.
I put down.
we're not doing this game.
Can I have one bong water, please?
No.
Oh, we
should
should
have
have gamer girl bathwater.
We should- okay, guys.
Water.
Guys, okay, idea. A day one DLC that's just the meme DLC that has Gamer
Let's do
Girl,
it,
has
please.
bathwater, has bong water.
It has Brendan Simulator Brendan.
Dude, if you
Why
drink
is-
the bond water, you get higher.
Your score gets higher, but
What's the
words
one for
make less
raw eggs?
sense.
You crack an egg and put it in. I feel
Yeah.
like the drinks can get more like crazy. What you could do.
I like the
hypothetically,
idea of
is
moon
kind of
rocks
make
being
it
an
like-
ingredient.
So we could have
Chicken
to
broth.
make it, you can start off with drinks that everyone knows about, like orange juice, vodka, and like all that shit. And then like what the bar can do is like take place in like let's say like some kind of like alien hangout place or whatever, and then you can start introducing more unorthodox things that you'd have to put in the drinks. Like for example, cracking a raw egg or putting in dirt or something like that, just to
Yeah.
make it more interesting. and More
We
like,
could
Take his
just,
shit in the
into the
glass.
it doesn't even need to be a bartending game, but that'd be. I think
Has
it's
anyone
fun.
ever
I've-
played the game called Space Team?
I have.
No.
Yes.
played
Okay.
Space Team. It's
I
so much
love
fun.
that game. Oh my. So basically, how it works is it's Bluetooth connection between multiple phones.
Wait, didn't we
each
play
one-
that, Clanky?
Yeah,
We
We
did
did
play
play
this game
this.
before, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the goal, the fun of the game is screaming out like deflabernize the positive, and then the four other guys have to all look at their control panels. So having those really cryptic names that you have to shout at each other can get really funny if it's done right.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
like even
You guys
then,
know-
you could be
Yeah.
looking at the names yourselves and trying to figure
If you
out.
haven't heard of it, Space Team is the greatest game for like
It's a-
screwing around.
It is very fun.
You
It's
guys
very-
know all those like retail simulator games, right? Where you have to work in a restaurant and you have to prepare food.
No,
Yeah.
I just live it.
Yeah.
It's
always
no
wanted
game.
One that's like totally realistic food game thing where it starts off normal where you're like making a cheeseburger and you have to fill up a soda cup, but by the end it just gets absolutely ridiculous where you're like putting smoothies on you're putting smoothie on the hamburger. Like
You
you're
have to
filling you're filling up
Final
a full
boss,
soda cup
carrot.
with ketchup packets.
you have to kill a man, you know?
Yeah.
You have to like you put a soda cup under a pig that you're hanging and just slit its throat.
I mean, the drinks. Honestly, in my opinion, I think the drinks would get more like. People would be more interested in the game if it has like those bizarre drinks that you have to make, like stuff
Yeah.
that you otherwise would never do.
Yeah.
Like
And
just
yeah,
get
even
a
from the
vodka.
beginning, we can have some
For
weird
the-
ingredients like ketchup, like condiments, like soy sauce and teriyaki,
and
Yeah.
snickle juice.
Really funny.
salt,
I feel like
pepper.
it should. I want like some like Eldritch stuff in there too.
Oh
where
my
it
God.
gets-
Chicken grease.
It gets really dark where it's like the tear of an angel or like
Yeah, and
correct.
the blood of the
Antimatter.
devil. Yeah.
Antimatter.
you can even have things where it's like, if it's this type of way, it's on the rocks or shaken or
Yeah,
stirred.
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Off the
Can
rocks.
I-
A vodka?
I like the idea of one that's off the rocks and you have to throw it through a portal and catch it through another portal.
This has legs. This has a leg.
So do you, idiot.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have
right.
3, stupid.
Fuck you. Don't you dare say that to my face.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I just really like the idea of, hey, can I get a gamer girl bathwater on the rocks, please?
We should go to my brother's bartending job and ask for that.
Can I get the blue cheese special, please?
We serve food here, sir.
There should be a version of
sir,
on the
food
rocks
here,
where you have
sir.
to put actual rocks in the drink.
As opposed to ice
Yeah.
cubes.
There could be on the rocks and then a special on the rocks that's literally rocks. And
Yeah.
you
One
can
of the
tell them
drinks-
apart.
Can one of the
Like-
drinks just be Listerine?
Like, you know,
we could literally have like mouthwash just be one of the things you have to mix in.
Oh my god! What if a customer just comes in ordering bleach and ammonia, and you have to know enough to turn him down?
What if every round, what if like every endless mode or something, you're given like a character that's wanted by like the whatever, like the FBI or something. And then
Hey,
you have
can
to
I
put
get a
some type of
gamer girl
mark.
bathwater? That's him.
have
That's
to-
the guy.
Brendan.
You have to like, based on the person in the description, you have to be able to like lace their drink with something that'll knock them out, so that way they're like not on the run anymore or something like that.
Are you?
And that's
are
like
you-
something that cancels out their drink no matter what you make.
That could be
Clanky,
a
That's
we
thing.
don't-
interesting.
Clanky, we don't have that Cosby shit in our games.
Oof.
No, my favorite childhood celebrity.
This is a great idea. I like
Anyway,
this.
okay. That's all
that
of them.
All of them.
We did it, and it only took.
All right.
It's 12:03.
Yeah.
So
That's
here's
fine
the
by
thing.
me.
It's time to vote, though.
Okay, so
So how
yeah.
do we do this?
So I guess, do we just want to each,
So,
I think we put it through Total Drama Island and let that decide.
no?
No.
So we keep eliminating things until we're left with 3.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, we
So-
could keep a, yeah, that's a good idea.
That's
I like that.
that's a solid plan.
Because then we can like argue.
hi, Matt.
Who's
Oh, hey.
who's tonight's big loser?
Infinitus is out.
No,
Yeah.
infinitus.
Considering it wasn't even red.
Yeah.
It was blue.
I'd
I
say
also
Critter
had
Coliseum
ideas,
is out.
but I
Oh.
decided.
I would say
Yeah, critical.
I would say we should take a Critter Coliseum and an Infinitus.
Okay.
Here, let's do
Are we getting rid of Splatter Batter because it's out
We're-
of scope?
I think
We're getting rid
Splatter
of
Batter.
Splatter Batter.
Unfortunately, I think both Splatter Batter and Magic Mixer might want to go.
Yeah, or Cores of Magic. As I
Yeah.
don't know why it didn't change, but yeah, those
Okay.
can go.
I love both of them, and it. Oh, but they might have.
We'll
Yeah.
just have to make them later. We'll just have
Yeah.
to make them later.
After we're rich from these 3
Yeah,
games,
that'll-
am I right?
That'll be a September game.
Yes.
And I think, should we do the same for Perilous Poker? Because of the art assets might be more difficult. If,
At
if
least
it's
for
doable, let's
June.
keep it.
Wait, where'd it go?
Oh,
Well-
I moved. Oh, I renamed it.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, Perilous Poker. Yeah, Tan wasn't too. He didn't want to do too much
Art.
game art. Yeah,
Yeah.
just wanted to
I
focus
had
How
on
many
3.
artists do we have?
2D.
0.
Dan.
2D.
2D half.
So
You're
basically,
missing-
I
God.
mean,
Tan's our graphic designer. He's gonna make things look pretty, but
Hey, pass it on.
basically, just all of us are like half artists.
Should I
At
dump
the-
those 3 ideas I
Except
have
for-
in the
about
chat
that.
real quick?
Do you want to?
Yeah, they could read over them, and if they're
Yeah.
interested, we could discuss them more.
potentially in the future, we could also just commission an artist to do it.
I thought all of these were. Oh, we ruled
Yeah.
out the
That'd be
middle
too
one.
much money.
I made
I
the
would
list.
do it.
That way we could
I-
like cross them out.
Good idea.
I would go ahead and
So-
pay for it if I need to, because I still like the idea.
Yeah.
Dan.
So I
Which
would pay
one?
for the artist. Perilous Poker. If we don't want to use Tan for the character art, I'll
Do you
just
guys-
commission an artist.
That is
Do
fair.
you guys remember? Do you guys remember the art that I got for Welcome to Quick Stop? If you
Yeah.
guys are
Yeah.
okay with an art style like that, I'm sure the artist that I got to do that would be more than willing to make art for that as well.
Did you get all the rights for that though?
Ooh,
Oh, yeah,
Rights
that's
cost
true.
way more.
that is fair. They will get royalties for every sell.
Dan, do you want to go over your ideas first?
Yeah.
What
So
are
I
those all
had
crossed
2
out?
that I didn't bother to make because I thought they were both way out of scope.
I
But
really like the third one.
after hearing the talks tonight, I think it would be at least worth it to mention them. I crossed out the middle one because it's mobile based and
Ah.
doesn't really make sense for what we're trying to do. So the top one is I called it Crimson Gunplay or something stupid like that, which is you have a gun that leaches blood from the enemy that you find around the level, and the player can use the blood they steal to perform a variety of functions. These functions include healing themselves, healing friends, performing special attacks, or activating relics around the levels, with a possible vampire theme. And then the bottom one is probably my favorite. You and a friend play as bandits who steal fruit from rich and powerful kingdoms to feed your poor village.
I like
The
that
kingdom's
one a lot.
knights are vastly more powerful than you are, so you and your friend will have to rely on stealth and tactical strikes to steal your loot. The fruit that you are trying to steal has magical properties, and you can consume it yourself to gain special abilities. You can use these powers to attempt more difficult obstacles and steal even more fruit, but you risk the reward of, ending up with less than you started with. The goal is to steal as much fruit as you can without getting caught or wasting too much fruit on yourself.
I like the stealth aspects of that. That is cool.
It
I
kind
like
of
that a
reminds me of the
lot.
mechanic in Pikmin 3 where you're trying to find food for your planet, but you
Yeah.
also still have to eat the food.
Bless you.
Thank you.
All right.
No one likes Pikmin 3.
I liked Pikmin 3, shut up.
Pikmin 2 is
If
better.
you don't like Pikmin 3, then you just have a bad opinion. That's
I like
okay.
Pikmin 2 is
2
better.
over 5.
So Clanky is against the world on Pikmin 3. Got it.
Fair. So, oh wait, yeah, all Dan's ideas are down here. We can cross out Dan idea 2, I guess.
Yeah, it's mobile.
And also GBR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
We
could
want
also
to-
cross out Critter Coliseum since we talked about getting rid of that as
And
well.
Magic Mixer, which was the cores of Magic, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that's
and also Splatter
Splatter
Batter.
Batter.
Did you put in the full name for Splatter Batter?
What name?
Hold on, where's
Splatter
the...
Batter? SBS,
Splat
SBS up.
Okay, so actually, once we run out of things that are... Do we want to actually go around and say what we want to do most, or do we want to keep limiting?
I know what 3 I would love to.
I
run.
know
Yeah,
what three
I know
are.
my 3 votes.
I know my 3.
So we can also cross out Perilous Poker for now, just because character art,
Yeah.
I guess.
What if we do the straw poll or something? It's just
That's
Yeah.
literally
Yes!
what Brian
Let's
just
do a
said in the group.
Brian, just...
Yeah.
Yes!
Should we? I guess
Yeah.
do straw poll
There.
with everything that's not crossed out,
Alright.
and that's.
I'll go add the list real quick. Hold on.
And we could choose a max of
Oh,
3
man.
options.
All right, enter poll. Type your question.
This is gonna be hard.
This is gonna be fucking tough, because
I don't know which ones I want.
Yeah. I think I know the
No,
3.
I think should we do 3 votes or 1 vote?
Well, you only get one vote on straw poll.
We can do multiple
No, you
voting
can
for
do
multiple
answers,
things,
Yeah.
but we just have to go by an honor system.
Yeah,
So then
Mercy
do
will
it
go
by
on.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
wait, what do you mean do it by 3?
Well, we each choosing 3 games.
Let's do a straw poll where you can choose everything if you want, but let's only choose 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the honor system.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna choose everything.
Yeah. Oh no.
I like every game. Everything gets the same.
We all just pick everything.
Yeah, everyone.
So
everyone
much for honor.
Everyone hold your breath and let's see what
Yeah.
shakes out.
what to do. I'm scared.
This is
I
what we
think
do.
I know.
We
I
all
know
hold
exactly.
our breath for as long as possible. Whoever passes out last, we get to choose whatever 3 games
Yeah.
they want to make.
I think
Alright, ready, set,
Swing is
go.
getting all 3 of my votes.
Nice. Swing,
guess
swing
I'm-
2 and swing
Yo,
3 for it.
but what if we could do Swing in Nuclear Winter in August?
And then put a Build-A-Bus in there.
No, Build of Us is definitely its own.
Battle Bus.
Why don't we just remake the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World beat 'em up?
Yeah,
Yeah, we should. I'm so mad I
Alright.
can't get that game anymore.
Here you go.
that's so upsetting. Ooh,
I don't know
straw
what to choose yet. I haven't decided.
I
Alright.
have.
Fuck.
So we
Wait,
got-
is this just a picture?
No, you have to click the link.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. My mistake.
Dumb silly
wanna-
guy. I have.
Okay.
I have my 2, but my 3rd.
I have
Actually,
2. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what my 3rd is.
I chose my
So
3. I did it.
I just thought.
Can
oh,
we go
man, this
over
is
them
so
all
easy.
again? All of
No.
them?
From
Oh
the
man.
beginning.
You can look over them yourself. I already voted. I'm
I
watching.
voted.
I'm watching the
I
votes
also-
come in.
I voted as
Oh
well.
man.
Me too.
I voted.
I don't know what to pick.
Oh wow. There are. Ooh, one's getting higher.
This
There-
is fun
there-
to watch.
there-
something like this.
There are 2 big champions right now.
This is fun to watch.
Yeah.
I like
is,
this.
I knew that one was gonna come out on top,
Which one?
That is fair.
which
This should
I'm
go.
trying to avoid names for the
Okay.
people who haven't voted yet because I'm not trying to create bias.
No,
Oh,
you're
my
good.
bad.
Right. Good. Right.
But I really wanted to work on that one more than anything else.
I know you did. Second I saw it in the thing,
I'm happy with
that's a
these
dead
results.
Is
Yeah,
this
I-
everybody?
I want to do
Yeah,
have an
are
art
these the
for it.
results?
Is everyone
Yeah.
done?
Is everyone done
Well, let's
voting?
see. There's 24 votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
So that'd
8.
be 8 people.
8 over
Yep,
3 is
that's everyone's
24.
votes.
We're good.
So
Okay.
it's Fishing Guild, Nuclear Winter, and Uh-Oh Bartender.
Yeah, one of the ones I voted for got
Honestly, this is exactly what I wanted, except I actually voted. I was the one vote for Battle Bus.
I
I
was
mean-
the one vote for Cranefall.
in. Grateful.
Craneful and Battle Bus or Build a Bus are both great ideas.
I'm
They just
gonna be
It's not
honest.
now.
well,
For Fishing Guild, I really don't want to do Square Islands though.
we don't
That's
have
fair.
to.
We
don't-
Yeah, I
that-
just
they
I
don't
just did
have
that
to.
for the GDD. We don't have to
Okay.
do
Can I be-
Square Islands.
Can I be honest with y'all though?
What?
I'm pretty sad that we don't get to do Cruel Die yet.
Oh yeah, I
We're-
voted
we're-
for
we're
that.
gonna-
Next time will come.
Yeah,
all
I
these
voted
games
for-
will be done. I think.
Yeah, I was. We only got one person who didn't vote for Fishing Guild.
That was
Who-
me.
Yeah, almost. Fishing Guild
Christian.
almost got a vote from everybody.
I was the only
Yeah.
person who didn't vote for Fishing Guild.
I mean, that's fine.
Honestly, after doing my Oh Bartender talk, I'm surprised it got through because it just didn't
It
seem
sounds
like.
so fun.
Well, like yeah,
It
it's
sounds fun.
it's my
Gamer Girl
well
Bathwater.
yeah, it's my top pick, but it didn't seem like everyone was as into it as they were with
I mean,
other games.
we were all memeing.
I voted based on what I want to work on.
I
Yeah.
also voted based on what I
My
wanted to work
my
I
on.
vote
too
is
did the
completely on
If
what I
something
want
ends
to
up
work on.
like scoping, like scope creeping, and we need more than a month to finish it, I wouldn't mind putting it aside and finishing it later. If like Fishing Guild turns out to be amazing, and it's like holy shit, this needs more time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind putting it aside and continue working on it.
So
If
now,
that's the case, then we can always just move to the next one down. So it would either be Cruel Dice or Slime Champions.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
No,
I took
like,
a screenshot to archive the votes, so.
yeah, let's pin that bitch.
Okay.
Pin that boy.
I got it.
Don't you-
What do you mean, Clanky?
Just forget it. I'm an idiot.
No, what he's saying is that
Nah.
if we want Fishing Guild to take more time, like as we start to work on it, like no,
Yeah.
But-
we want to take way longer.
But by the time we notice that, we're kind of
Yeah.
we're kind of already in the
Yeah.
deep end.
That's why I kind of like
Yeah.
said that because I
Yeah,
realized
so
as I said it.
Here's the
We work
question
on it
though.
for that month. We do what we said we were going to
So-
do with the month. And then we go, all right, neat. We'll pick this
So
back up
I
when
think
we're ready.
I think this is already self-explanatory. Bartender in June, Fishing Guild in July, and Nuclear Winter in August.
I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
that's it.
So let's make that a post as well to memorize.
Hell yeah. So we're
Bri-
gonna be starting bartender.
Brian,
soon.
are
Hell
you
yeah.
are you happy with this stuff, Brian? Since we cannot hear you.
I hope he just types in no and nothing else.
And then leaves the call, and then leaves the chat, and then leaves
I
Woke.
mean,
He
he
just leaves
obviously
loading.
votes.
Yeah, he said fuck all
Now-
of you. I hate you. I'm out.
I don't know. Are these all the final names or
No, they
No.
as the GDD say. Except I love Bartender. I just want
Yeah,
to
no,
I
I
do.
think, I think
Uh-oh,
Bartender is great.
Bartender.
And I think Nuclear Winter works.
Well,
Yeah, I
I'm
do think
I'm
so.
Well, I
I'm
think there's already a
scared,
game
yeah.
called that.
I'm scared of Nuclear Winter just because it's the same name of the game
Yep.
we played on pen and
Oh.
paper.
Okay.
I see, yeah.
That's why it's a patent pending. You can name the game Bomb Shelter. You can name it Nuclear Fallout. You can
Yeah,
name it.
just
Your name's
I know.
Trump.
Oh, let's call it Fallout Shelter.
Let's call it Fortnite.
I've pinned working on.
why was that funny?
I don't
I
know.
think
That was funny.
I actually thought it was funny too.
I'm really good
Fortnite's
at
a bad
English,
word.
so I can definitely help design a lot of the big coding for Bartender in terms of like this means this
Mm-hmm.
because I work a
Yeah,
lot.
so the biggest thing for Bartender, which I would like to get would like you designers to get done as fast as possible is the basic rules for the names so that I can
Yeah.
start programming it. So like
yeah.
So make up
So-
the code.
no, like yeah, like so like there'll be if this word like let's for example like if the word ends in a letter, that's one rule that could be possible.
Oh, so like I get what you're saying at. So like not the exact codes right now, but just like if ends in letter, if alliteration, like those
Yeah,
things.
so like it could be alliteration with like these words, it could be these two letters together inside the word. It could be ends in this letter, starts with this letter. It could be rhymes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can definitely
So-
help.
I just need
like-
all that stuff because I want to start programming
God.
that as fast as
Yeah.
possible.
I have a
Like-
question.
Like the whammy blammy is like a rum and coke.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Well, no. What he means.
I don't
like,
need
the core value. Like so, if word
Like-
ends in this letter, it has this. if this double letter is together, it had like
I
literally the
don't-
basic rule but knows ingredients.
I don't need ingredients. I just need what's going to be done. If you understand, like what's going to be used. Will it be end in
Right.
letter, start in letter, rhymes,
Alliteration.
stuff like that, so that I
Yeah.
could start programming the algorithm to.
There's a
create the
lot of
names.
fun stuff we can play with because like we can have one where it's like if the letters I'm forgetting the term right now, but like you know how race car backwards is race car.
Oh, yeah, palindrome.
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 Yeah, we can have palindromes. We
Yeah,
can have
that'd be awesome.
That would be
Um,
really cool.
That'd be dank, honestly. Yeah.
yeah.
So I have a question. I'm sorry.
No.
All right, fair.
questions
Okay,
allowed.
I'm gonna leave the team forever. So,
Alright, bye.
so here's the thing. We're gonna be when we start working on this game. Are we gonna start by then the Scrum system?
Huh?
Am I using the right word? Hold up.
Yes.
Yes.
And what's
Scrum.
great
Yeah, the
is
daily Scrum. Are we gonna be doing the daily Scrum when we start
I
working
hope.
on this?
Yeah.
I don't know
So
what that.
don't worry. That's the meeting on the 26th where I explain all that.
Yeah. I just want to know, just the curiosity of like how the working's gonna work.
is the 26 good for everyone to meet?
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
And-
should
We're
Okay,
doing
never
daily
mind.
Scrum meetings.
We're doing daily Scrum meetings over Discord chat.
Okay.
I'll explain all that
Yeah.
at that meeting.
As long as we don't have
Also-
to hop into this
No.
voice call every day, because
We
that's
will not.
actual torture.
Yeah, that'd be
I
bad.
I looked up Nuclear Winter and I can't find the game that we played. So I guess that's just a name we made up and I just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah, but
We're safe.
you're also not allowed to like copyright that though. So
Mm,
I don't know.
We'll figure it out probably.
Yeah,
We'll call it
some-
Scrump.
Oh my
First thing
God,
that came to
Guacamole
mind was
is
nuclear
today.
straws, because you're drawing straws.
Oh.
See who gets in.
I like
Oh,
that.
sick. I've always wanted to play this game.